Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ariel Helwani Show!
Back in your life! Oh, this is nice.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Oh, wow.
Happy birthday to you.
This is nice. Wow, I wasn't expecting all this. Wow, where's my sachet? Wow, I wasn't expecting all this.
What are you doing outside smoking cigarettes? Now the whole studio reeks like a club.
Is that where you were?
Yeah, we were getting some items.
He's some kind of pissed, this guy, huh? He's some...
We take these away from them.
Can I be 1,000% honest with you guys? As the music was coming in, it started to fade a little earlier than usual. I was about to explode on Frank. Like, Frank, how many times have we done this?
This guy's a ticking time bomb today.
You got me a card
I'm
too.
so sweaty, dude.
Wow, you know what? Was this where you were? Now I feel like an asshole.
You
should feel like an asshole.
GC just grabbed me. It was like 20 to...
Oh my God.
Let's go.
Look at this guy got me. He got me
Scratch cards, baby.
Scratch cards.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're the
yeah.
best.
We're becoming millionaires.
Yeah.
Let's see how much we
What's
won.
it say on your card? What's it say on your card?
Oh, in the card?
Oh, wow. You're the guy
By
that
the way,
doesn't read the card.
What an intro.
You just
Happy
want
birthday,
the money.
Ariel. The Gaelic word for friendship is scratch card or something.
It's not.
It's not. You
Here,
know
listen.
yourself.
That's signed from all of us.
What is
right?
it? What is it? Talk it to the microphone.
Coin to scratch the cards with.
Oh my God, that is amazing. You know what? The great Bob Marley once said, possessions make you rich. Possessions don't make you rich. My richness is life.
If you win any 10% though.
Forever. Wow. Thank you guys. That
Yeah,
really means
scratch
the world. Right now, live on air, we don't have time. We have a stack show. It's my 43rd birthday, in case you missed it.
Richard Petty.
Richard Petty, Brad Doherty. Who else?
Doherty.
All the
Darren
greats.
Sproles year?
Darren Sproles, what a pull.
Yeah. I've never felt richer than right here and now.
Wow.
I've never felt richer. And what I mean by
Thanks in the
richness,
chat.
I don't feel like I have the most amount of possessions and money in the world. I feel like I have the most amount of love and camaraderie and friendship, great colleagues. I was about to lambast those that didn't text me this morning a happy birthday. I do want to give a special shout out to GC, who was the first to text me. For the record,
Not a
Petesy, Jordan, and New York Rick have yet to actually officially wish me a happy
I
birthday.
text you happy
walked in
birthday
and we
today.
all said
Okay.
happy
it was
birthday.
I needed an official text.
I just got you a card with a lot of scratch cards.
GC, Andy.
What are you talking?
and-
It says
and-
happy birthday on the card.
And in fact,
Open the card. What does it say on the
in
card?
fact, Frank told me that he wrote. GC, what did I say? You were the first, right?
Yeah. You hit me with the invisible ink. That was a nice touch.
Yeah. Frank told me he wrote his text at 4 a.m.
Yep.
But he didn't want to be first, so he did it at 7:48. You beat him 7:16.
Oh, like the formal
I
way.
almost
Excuse me.
responded.
That's better than a text message.
Almost
No, you didn't.
responded
Went to-
with
got you
a
a card.
surprise Frank didn't get up in the middle of the night to send it.
Yeah, he said he timed it, which, by the way, I don't even know how to schedule a text.
I sent it at 7:16.
Frank,
Yeah, you did.
Wow,
talk
how
about
poetic.
sweating
That's
back
my
in the
birthday.
Arbitrary number I picked just happened to be later than yours. It's
Let it be known there will be no text coming.
No,
There's
I was
text for it.
expecting an HBD from Rick, like the least amount of effort
Maybe an
possible.
HBD
I've seen you in
slap.
person, so now it's all out the window. There will be no text.
None of these ever get you a card like a real
No,
gentleman.
okay. This is amazing. Where'd you get this bodega? Is this why you went to the bodega?
This is what I was trying to find about. But this is
Amazing.
what we do in Ireland for everyone's birthday. When you don't know what to get them, you just get them a lot of scratch cards.
It's a brilliant thing. My grandfather especially would appreciate it. He spent a lot of money on this. Top dollar,
Oh, stop
$5, $5, $5. It's a nice.
You got to
little,
scratch
like,
at least one of them off.
quid,
Come on.
30 quid.
Scratch
here?
one off.
Here,
Scratch
George,
one off.
George,
One
you get a
off.
bit of a
One.
surprise tomorrow yourself.
Also, you're scratching it off with an authentic euro there.
I mean, what am I doing? $1 million gold went up to $1 million.
Yeah, let's see what we got.
By the way, it's gonna make a whole big mess here.
Yeah, that's
Nah,
right.
you'll be fine.
GC will clean it.
Okay. I've.
Do it quicker, man.
Well,
Come on.
I'm too worried about the stuff.
He's too worried about the little flakes that are going to come off.
Microplastic.
By the way, I got $1 euro.
Just a euro. It's
Or
called.
just-
$1 euro. What the fuck is wrong with you?
What a time to be alive. By the way, my birthday today, JK's birthday tomorrow. I won't be sending him a text. Who else we got? We got you
GC,
on the 17th, GC on the 16th, my dad on the 17th. We just learned that Craig Jones is also on the 17th.
He's 17.
Yeah.
Wow.
My good friend Kevin Wang tomorrow as well. I mean, everyone's got their birthday. Rick on the 1st. No one texts Rick, by the way. No one texts
Okay,
Rick.
I'm with Eric
Oh, it's
here.
going to break
I'm
my
with
heart, I
Eric
assure
here.
you.
We won't even acknowledge
Yes.
Rick's
Neither will
birthday.
I, by the way.
Oh, my God. You know yourself. This is a great time.
I'm still pissing sweat, mate.
How are you celebrating my birthday? You were at the Empire State Building today.
I was unbelievable. I managed to be at the back of every media convoy.
Couldn't help but notice you were all the way back there.
I got there 20 minutes early too. They were letting the boxing guys in one door and letting the dirty MMA guys in another door. But,
It's a nice view right here. I
yeah.
mean, what kind of camera we have? What kind of phone?
That's an iPhone, but I think the perspiration on my body was
Yeah.
somehow on the lens because, as you can see there, look what I did there. The framing on this. You can see the Empire State Building.
Very nice. Yeah,
That's where we're
good.
located.
A little bit to the left. Yeah.
What can you do? You know?
I didn't get a good shot, front and center of Jake there.
I
in the
was
middle.
shouting. I was saying, Jake,
Over here.
over here, mate.
Yeah.
Didn't move. Then up
Look
there.
at this shot. I don't even know. What are we looking at here?
Don't really know myself. I just tried to point it in the direction of the other cameras.
This is like a tourist at like
Yeah.
a big event.
Did you just hold it up, hoping for the best?
Well, no, I was listening to Steve Bunce giving a New York journalist a bit of what's for,
Yeah.
and I kind of hung back to listen to that. And then when I
Way
got
more
there, I was like,
exciting.
"Oh, it's over!" Like, so I just got like
You
two
missed it all.
pictures and went.
Good scene though. It seems like it was well attended.
Yeah, I briefly saw the great Brian Peters
Legend.
corralling Katie out of there. So she seemed cool. They seemed to get on very well.
Is Ireland in the house? Like, are they present as far as the media is concerned?
Not yet. They're all coming in today, so they would have
okay.
missed that. But I expect to see them all at the workouts today.
And you'll be there.
I will be
In fact, you'll be our special correspondent.
Do I have to wear
For
this? Oh, no.
they're doing the open workouts at the Oculus downtown, which
Yes.
is a brilliant spot. I can't even imagine how much it costs to actually do this. And there'll be 2 fights
Yeah, crazy.
at the workouts. This is the scene right here with the blow up dolls of Katie.
Old dolls, really? Yeah. Where we're going from? Fucking hell.
What is it?
China blow up dolls. What are you talking about? What is that? Jesus Christ.
What is it?
I would have called them figurines or something.
Well,
Statues.
Statues,
Okay,
Inflatables.
Blow up dolls. You know, there's just a
Get
certain
your
thing
Katie
kind of
Taylor
pops into your
blow-up
head
doll.
when you.
no, maybe for you, for fuck's sake.
You know.
Oh my
What are you laughing
God.
at? You know it's.
No, the
Never
way
seen
you're.
a doll that big.
Oh, God. Anyways, there's blow up statues. Is
Just
we
blow up
go.
nothing. Just fucking statues. The big statues.
but they're like
Inflatable statue.
they're inflatable.
Are you sure about that?
They're blown
We will
up.
check that. We'll verify this on
Well,
Ariel
that's
and
why
Adam.
we're sending you there. Boots on the ground, man on the street.
Are they or are they not blow up dolls, Peter?
Yes,
First
tell us.
question.
Poke it. Do you guys remember that commercial? Nobody beats the Wiz.
No.
Nobody beats him. GC, surely you know what this is from Seinfeld, right? Nobody beats the Wiz. There's that episode where she dates the guy who's the Wiz in the commercials.
Early episodes?
Mid.
Mid?
When I say mid, I don't mean not good. I mean mid.
No. I know. I understand. I could understand the translation.
Anyway, that's who I feel like I look like right now. This is a nice little crown.
GC picked that one out.
Where?
There was
Party City?
Yeah, freshly wrapped. No, rest in peace to Party City. They've gone out of business.
They have?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
It was a very sincere moment for me losing Party City. That's where I got all my props.
Yes.
This is from the old Village Party Supply. Shout out.
Oh yeah. Around the block.
Yeah, it was in a wrapper.
I was
Appreciate
like,
it.
when are we going to stop moving, mate? My back is wringing wet.
I feel horrible.
Oh, I
now.
started jogging across the street.
What?
and
Tell
Pete
them
was
what you
like,
thought I was doing.
Hey, no jogging.
I legit thought he was smoking outside. And by the way, no one stopped me from believing that.
I could hear them making excuses
Yes.
while I walked into the room. They're like, no, he's smoking.
He
He's
just
smoking.
need-
I was like, what
He
the
just
fuck?
needed to get
No one
a
said
quick
he was
puff in.
smoking.
No one said, "Oh, he needs some air." No one
He's
said,
overwhelmed.
"Yeah." Oh, there he is.
Yeah, the wish.
Nobody beats the
There
Wiz.
you go. You're the whiz.
Good job. Yeah, it's a classic. Petesy, it's so nice having you here. You have brought an infusion of energy. By the way, why aren't you looking at me? Why are you looking off to the side with your birthday cap?
I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Are you loving New York?
Why is it so warm in here? What's
like
wrong
it
with you?
Oh, should I tell people who's on the show today?
Yeah.
Yeah, today's show is a stacked one. By the way,
Don't wear too many clothes if you're coming on the show. You will perspire.
from this point forward till tomorrow, we have 7 guests between this program, the DAZN show, and tomorrow's show. All of them in studio. We don't have another Zoom guest scheduled until next week. So today on the program, back into the show at 3 o'clock, we're going to be joined by Shakur Stevenson, WBC lightweight champion, headlining the card. in Queens, Louis Armstrong Stadium, actually co-headlining. He's not the main event, which is a little surprising to me, against William Zepeda. Prior to that, Cherneka Johnson, a.k.a. Cherneka Johnson, undisputed bantamweight title fight this Friday, not on Netflix, on the prelims, which will be on YouTube, MVP's YouTube and Netflix's YouTube. She'll be in studio. And then the great Craig Jones. Everyone loves Craig.
Fantastic.
Back from his séjour in the Ukraine and Colombia and Lord knows where else. He'll be joining us in studio. He's in a bit of a brawl right now with the good folks over in Las Vegas, claiming that they stole his idea for CJI, the rules, the fighting surface. So those three individuals will be joining us, star-studded lineup. And then on the Ariel and Ade program, actually, Ade is going to be joining us in studio as well. Everyone's here. We're the epicenter of the combat sports world right now.
Is Ade not here for the Club World Cup, though?
Yeah, he is.
Bit of a sellout.
Yeah. I mean, he is doing the PSG Real Madrid match.
Does he have any tickets for me?
Honestly, I hear the tickets
Let's not talk about
aren't
the
sold
tickets.
out. So I think that you may get one for...
I want one from him, though.
Quid. No, you can ask him. He'll be here at around 4 o'clock. Anyway, Edgar Berlanga, who's going up against Hamza Shiraz in the main event of that July 12th card, he'll also be joining us in studio. So it's a real 2 for Tuesday.
It's a slobber knocker
around these parts. This is how we do. People call it a loaded lineup, a stacked show. I mean, we all talked about the lineups over the last couple of weeks. We just call this Tuesday around these parts. Like, it's just ain't no thing. My kids, by the way, before they went to sleepaway camp, they got me, I always talk about the Devin Booker shoes. Are you familiar with those? GC, familiar?
He's who's he play for?
The
Phoenix
Suns.
Yeah, I know the deep books.
Actually, our EIC, our fearless leader, Shaheen Al-Shadi, would appreciate this. I always tell them that the D-Books are probably the nicest shoes in the NBA. They bought me a pair of D-Books for my birthday.
When are you wearing them?
They're basketball shoes.
What's that mean?
Well, the real hoopers know that you don't wear basketball shoes on the street. Rick would know this.
You wear skateboarding shoes.
Yeah, but I don't skateboard. You better put those motherfuckers down. Are those Jordans, by the way? What a poser you are. Imagine wearing shoes of a sport you don't partake in on a daily basis.
I've seen you wearing soccer jerseys.
No, you could have easily hit me with the skateboard.
Skateboard.
Yeah, there you go.
2 of them. Fuck's sake.
My sister-in-law is calling me, probably to wish me happy birthday. Should I answer? And lambast her for calling me.
Have you been smoking?
Or just, did you not know I'm live at 1 o'clock?
Just in case Elaine's watching. Haven't been smoking, Elaine. All lies.
The rule is you have to answer the phone if they call you.
No, I can't do that. Of course you haven't been smoking. You've been very conscientious of your health.
Yeah.
I mean, if you
Just wondering where this could go. Yeah? We've had an interesting lunchtime chats recently.
I know. If you spend 5 minutes with the guy, he'll tell you everything. Well, there's a lot to be excited about. There's a lot to be thankful for. By the way, mazel tov to Marcus Buchecha.
Oh, yeah.
He's signed with the UFC. Did you hear about this?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Heavyweight Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu legend.
I wonder what Craig Jones thinks of this.
I'd say he wants a piece.
You think so?
Jones would have them all. Mad for it.
He's going up against Gable Stevenson, CJI 2, August 30th and 31st in Las Vegas. He's trying to redefine the game.
He is, though. He already is. Like, the amount of interest that CGI brought to Jiu-Jitsu on the same weekend as ADCC, I haven't ever seen it.
Right.
Like, including, there's been moments where, Meta Morris, remember Meta Morris?
Oh, yeah.
And they rematched Bravo v. Gracie.
They actually awarded me this black belt.
That's correct. I remember. But there's little moments when Jiu-Jitsu can kind of spill over into, the broader combat space consciousness. I think he did it better than anyone ever has.
Yeah, let's see if he can sustain it, because they're coming after him. Now UFC is signing these exclusive contracts. According to him, they're saying they're not letting... Jiu-Jitsu used to be this place where you can just kind of roam free. You can compete for Polaris here, ADCC. Now it seems like they're trying to funnel it all towards, one promotion.
What's that promotion?
That would be UFC BJJ.
It's the good old monopoly there. They seem to have... No,
I feel like they could have come up with a better name than UFC BJJ.
Zoo for BJJ.
No, just I don't know. Something a little bit more... or maybe not. Maybe simplicity is key.
They want the branding. They want the association, don't they?
Yeah. So what are you up to now? You're going to head down to the Oculus or what?
Few drinks in a local bar, then head on over and you guys call me and I'll ask for the tickets and find out if they're blow-up dolls or not.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. Great stuff from Petesy. There he is. Everyone, can we get some music for him, Frank?
Thank you.
There it is.
Oh, yeah.
Take care, Petesy. What do you got in the bag? Okay, he can't hear me anymore. Well, is he supposed to?
Take that with
Can you take that with you? Frank is saying. The earpiece. What do you have in the bag? Beers or what?
That was your.
Oh, the stuff. You had to. Yes. What do you got there? Blue Moons? Sam Adams?
No.
4-Jar Stout? There he goes, everyone. The great Petesy Carroll, host of The Crack. They'll be doing a Friday episode right here in the studio and then a post show from MSG. Oh, he's coming back now, guys. He's coming back. What do you got? Oh, there it is. Yeah. All right, guys. There he is, the great Petesy Carroll. Let's hear that music one more time, Frank, if you don't mind. There it is. Yes. Okay. Well, this is wonderful. Thank you so much for all the wishes. Thank you for the lottery cards. Everyone is just so very nice. I feel loved. I feel appreciated. I feel respected. I feel enamored with all kinds of emotions, and it does mean the world to me. 43. I was born on July 8th, 1982, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, in case you were wondering. And what would I want to do on my birthday other than this? Nothing. This is exactly where I want to be. Talking to great people, talking to fascinating individuals, and we shall kick things off with our very first guest. It doesn't get more fascinating than this guy. He is a man of mystery, travels the world, spreading the gospel of jiu-jitsu, and he returns with his own event, CJI 2, August 30th, 31st, Las Vegas, going up against the man, the establishment, and we could certainly appreciate that. Let us say hello right here and now to the one and only Craig Jones. Yes, there he is. Craig Jones in the house. You like my crown, Craig? They got it for my birthday. Oh, you got me a present too? Wow. How are you, mate? Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. Is this for me?
That is
okay.
for you.
I felt weird asking.
I brought it for myself.
Did you wrap this?
I got my assistant Anthony to wrap that.
Should I open it now or should I save it?
Save it. Pretty good surprise.
You think so? It's not better on the air.
Oh, we're live now?
We're live.
Perfect.
What do you mean? What did you think this was?
I thought we were in a break.
Thank you so much. This is so nice of you. You actually remember. Ooh, is this a B team jersey?
Ooh.
Okay.
A little lower class in the beginning.
Wow, look at that. A USA singlet.
So someone actually...
Wow.
Technically, I stole that, but I thought it would just look great on your body.
This is a Gable Stevenson? Is this legit?
Yeah.
Is this did he wear this?
That's, unwashed as well. I kept it unwashed in my luggage until I got here.
Guys, this is incredible. This is an Olympic gold medalist. Which camera here? Look at that.
Can we get you to wear it?
Right here and now?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit later. You're looking very thank you for this.
No worries.
Does he know that you gave this to me, by the way? Does he know that you have it?
I think he left it in my car. That
All
sounds quite of a strange thing to say, but I just decided to hang on to it. Basically like the bounty before the match, you know?
Sure. You're going up against him.
Up against him, yeah.
Okay, we have many things. First of all, have you lost weight?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to even up the match. You know, obviously Gable's massive.
Yeah.
We've got the jiu-jitsu advantage, so we decided to...
How much do you weigh?
91 kilos.
I don't know what that means. Let's see.
200 pounds, maybe?
91 kg. 200, yeah. Okay, and how much is he going to weigh?
I think 265.
Okay, so you are competing against him. Last year, you were the great mug, by the way. That's a new mug.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. Last year, the main attraction, CJI 1, was you versus Gabby Garcia.
A similar looking match, yes.
And this is fun. Has he ever competed in a jiu-jitsu match?
I don't believe he has. I believe he's going down the MMA route eventually.
Yes.
And
how did you get him to agree to this?
Well, obviously he's coming off a loss, so we caught him at a vulnerable moment, I would say. But yeah, I mean, it was easy. He was super keen for it.
Really? Now, is this the main event?
That is the main event.
So this is August 31st.
August 31st. That'll be on the Sunday night in Vegas.
Amazing.
3 5-minute rounds.
Yep.
And we'll see how that goes for him. Hopefully he's not too big to leg lock. He looks enormous. I have a slight height advantage though. So
you don't think you're going to, I mean, does he know how to do anything submission-wise?
I mean, who knows?
Have you ever trained with him?
Maybe I'll take him down.
Yeah.
No, I've never trained with him before.
Wow. This is great. What a great idea.
He kind of frightens me.
He's a big boy. I saw you guys doing some photos together.
Yeah, we did some, we redid the Dirty Dancing scene with the lift, and he lifted me up.
Okay.
Shockingly easy. That was actually very intimidating.
Do you really have "fuck you" tattooed on the bottom of your feet?
I do, yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
That's probably the most painful thing I've ever done.
There it is, right there.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously...
By the way, that singlet looks familiar.
That is the actual singlet. So he was sweating in the sun there. We've kept that unwashed for you. I tried it on. It's a bit loose in some areas on me, but I feel like you could
I can
make
understand.
up the slack there.
Where is this?
This was wherever he lives. Where is it? Nebraska? I don't even know.
Minnesota.
Minnesota, yeah.
Yeah.
Similar.
What a life you live. Do you have a home?
I'm homeless. Yeah, looking for a home if you have a spare room.
Do you really have like no place where where do you get your mail?
I send it to my business partner's house, Seth.
And where's that?
That's in Austin as well. I mean, I technically have a house in Austin, but just turned into Airbnb.
Okay.
Got out of Dodge, yeah.
How often do you, like, how many days out of the year so far have you been in Austin?
I would have been in Austin less than 2 weeks in the last 18 months.
Wow.
I reckon, yeah.
Do you ever get tired of traveling so much?
I'm tired, but I also get bored staying in this same destination, you know? Obviously, has its challenges, living out of a suitcase, trying to find safe training partners and stuff, obviously airports, all that experience. But yeah, I get bored, so I just want to get out, go on to the next place.
So, okay, there's so much to talk to you about, Craig.
A lot going on.
There's a lot going on. CGI 2 is the big one. You're coming back. The plan was always to have another one, right?
That was the plan. I mean, yeah, obviously we got the funding for the first one, and I just lied to every competitor that gave up their ADCC dreams that I was like, oh, 100% we'll have a second one. But it went well, so we could.
Same investor?
Different investor.
Different investor.
But yeah, it's different. Mysterious every time, you know. You never know.
You won't tell us.
You never know where that dirty money comes from.
Okay.
The things I have to do.
And what's the prize money?
The prize money will be $1 million for the winning team. So we'll have 8 teams in there.
Okay. What do you mean by teams?
So the idea was basically we wanted to have real jiu-jitsu teams because kind of the first CGI kind of proved the 2 best jiu-jitsu athletes in the world, in my opinion. Nicky Rod, Cade Rotolo. But then always the argument is because at like IBJJF events, you win a team's trophy. Who gets the most medals? But I was like, well, if we want to find out the best team, let's take what Quintet did, which was the Japanese event that would do this like 5 versus 5 winners, like sort of you submit the guy, you stay in. And I was like, let's really take your 5 best 80cc weight division guys against our 5 best and really see who wins. So that's the idea. It's like now we're going to determine which team is actually the best.
Okay. And this is completely different than last year.
Yeah, well...
You didn't have teams last year.
No teams last year. We just had 2 16-man divisions with $1 million prize for each. Obviously, we've cut the prize money a little bit. That was a bit generous last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, this time we're just mixing it up. I feel like we set the precedent for how the sport should look in the first event, but I didn't just want to rest on that and redo the same thing. I want to keep it moving, keep it exciting. So I was like, in my personal experience, the most fun I've ever had competing was with Quintet. So I wanted to like showcase Quintet style, a few modifications of the rules, use the pit, and just basically show the most entertaining form of the sport.
And what's the show money? Is it still the $10,001?
$10,002 this year.
You're upping it.
Yeah,
this is big.
Adjusting for inflation for sure.
Okay.
These guys.
In total, how many people have agreed?
We've got 8 teams of 5. 2 of the teams, New Wave Danaher's team, we're just waiting on one more guy to fill their slot. And same with Andre Galvao at Atos. Every other team's.
So who are the captains of the 8 teams, so to speak?
Oh, I mean, it's
well, like Danaher considered a captain, or is he more like a coach?
Yeah, he'd be the coach of the team.
Okay.
So we got Danaher for New Wave, Nicky Ryan for B team. We got Heath Pedigo for Daisy Fresh, Eddie Bravo for 10th Planet, Andre Galvao for Atos, and then we wanted to have all real teams because obviously you could put together a super team.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these events out there that do team style will just like it'll be a rich guy and he'll just be like, I'm going to pick the 5 or 8 best guys and just stack my team like by the victory. So we wanted to keep it kind of to really determine who was the best team, but certain individuals would miss out. So then we filled the other 3 spots. We made them like region based.
Okay.
So Australia and Asia is Lachlan Giles. Europe and the UK is Faris, and Americas is Greg Souders.
Okay.
So we have like 3 regional teams and 5 real teams.
I was hoping that one of the remaining teams would be Gordon Ryan.
Oh, I mean, Gordon is New Wave. They've just rebranded actually to King's Way.
Okay. So is he going to be a part of the Danaher team?
He will not compete. I don't believe he will ever compete again.
You think he's going to retire?
I think this time it's real. This time it's a real retirement.
Because of his health?
I think he's going into politics, actually, I've heard.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's going to run for Congress. Would you vote for him? Would he secure your vote?
I don't know. I don't know what his...
Look at the hesitation.
I don't know what he believes in. I don't know what he's all about.
Follow his Instagram.
Yeah, I guess so. Is that true? Is he really going into politics?
That's true, yeah.
Wow. Are you surprised by this?
Me and many of his constituents probably would be surprised by that too. But I mean, he achieved great things in jiu-jitsu, so like... we'll see what he can do, hey?
How's the relationship with ADCC?
Man, dude,
For real?
we're back. Yeah,
You're back?
Me and Mo Jassam, best buds again. We put our differences aside for the.
What does that mean?
Well, I mean, we just are friends again. You know.
So are you not going head to head with them?
No, we won't go head to head with them again. You know, like I just wanted to like
Because they don't go every year, right?
every second year, but yeah,
Okay, so you're free and clear this year.
free and clear this year. Next year, we definitely won't go at the same time as them.
Wow. What happened? How did you mend the fences?
I mean, time heals most wounds.
Yeah.
You know, but also, I mean, it was like I was just trying to prove a point with that first event that there was like, in a way, a better way to do it. But obviously, Mo was kind of restrained by like what ADCC, you know, like you have that formula for 30 years or whatever. Like obviously, we had a lot of differences about how we do it, but really, at the end of the day, like I felt like we won a little too much, and I don't want ADCC to disappear. That's like the legacy event of our sport. It can we can coexist together. Athletes can participate in both. I wouldn't want to rob the athletes the ability to be able to do both of those events.
So next year you can compete in ADCC and your event if you do a third one. You are planning on doing a third one, right?
If we're still around here, if we haven't.
So there's no more like war between you guys or.
No.
Wow. Have you spoken to him?
Yeah. I spoke to him actually. We text back and forth now. It's crazy. It's like, you know, like nothing
What a
happened.
difference a year makes.
What a difference a year makes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're cool.
So now you've just redirected your feud with the UFC. You've chosen an even bigger entity to go up
We've got a
against.
bigger fish to fry now, unfortunately. As you know, they're a powerful enemy to have.
Yes.
Ariel. Yeah, I mean.
What are you implying by that, by the way? What are you trying to say?
Well, you're not best friends with.
Nah, listen. It's all work. Do you know what pro wrestling? It's all for the cameras.
Me too. That's what I try to tell him.
But I don't blow up blow up dolls with Dana White's face on it with a bazooka.
Hey, that could have been any
That's
white
right.
bald man.
Right.
That's quite.
This is next level right here when you're doing this.
I mean, yeah.
This is a declaration of war.
Yeah, those dolls are actually used as well.
Okay.
The
All
quality.
right. Where is this, by the way?
This was on the front lines in Ukraine.
Jesus. And we'll get to that in a moment. But you legit, what is that like?
Be honest, what do you think of the UFC BJJ belt?
Well, can I just ask, what kind of a weapon is that? What is that called? Flamethrower?
A rocket launcher, I
A
think.
rocket launcher.
Yeah, so
And you nailed it, right?
yeah, actually when we blew up a car with ADCC painted on it last year, but I actually missed 6 times. So I just had to pretend I hit
You had
the
to do
car.
the cutaway.
Yeah, it was actually like super hard. So this time we got really close to the target, probably dangerously close, but we had one rocket, we hit it in one shot.
So, okay, so I know you asked me the question, but can I talk about the genesis of this? You feel like they have taken your ideas, right? And you were quite upset about this.
Yeah, I
And they
mean,
had
obviously we have the pro wrestling drama of it, but yeah, I do think like, I mean, the octagon's trademarked. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like no one can go around using the octagon. Like I feel like I made a blend. I stole from a bunch of different people to put something together, and they basically slightly adjusted the finishing product,
Which is the pit.
which is the pit. Yeah,
And the pit, credit to Karate Combat, they have a similar.
yeah.
Would you say that you
Oh yeah,
got some
for
inspiration from them? But you're cool with those guys,
Sure.
right?
Yeah. We shouted them out for the inspiration.
You've
We
competed
have
for them.
competed for them. We have a licensing agreement with them. So like, I do like to take other people's ideas, but I do like to give people credit.
Okay, and you
like-
feel like they haven't given you credit?
None at all.
If they would have given you credit, would you have been okay with this? Or because they're so big, do you feel like it would have been better if they used their own type of surface?
I mean, it's a catch-22, right? Because like I think we decisively proved that format that we sort of created is the best format for grappling. So in my opinion, like I do enjoy that they're using it because what they were doing for many years was not that good a product.
Right.
Fight Pass Invitational never popped off like the way I guess UFC BJJ appears to be popping off, right? So
Do you think
From
it's
a-
popping off? Do you think the first event was a success?
I think it was, I watched it, it was exciting. But the most exciting part for me was when they accidentally called it the pit. And then they were like, oh, we can't say that around here. Don't say the P word.
Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously, like to watch grappling take place in what we basically put together makes it a more exciting sport. So overall, I appreciate that they're doing it. And I understand from a business sense that like, if you view yourself as up here in an industry, you're not really acknowledging people down here. But at the same time, it would be nice if someone was like, yeah, we saw what Craig did. We're going to throw some money at it and do it in our own way, you know? But like,
You've had conversations with them, Hunter Campbell in particular, right?
yep.
That was about you being a part of the reality show?
That was for the reality show, yeah. But that was like, it was actually funny because when I spoke to those guys, they didn't like the Gabby Garcia match. They thought the Gable Stevenson match was stupid.
Really?
Then they're like, "Hey, Craig, you want to face Mikey Musumeci?" And I'm like, "Is that not a freak show match as well?" I'm like, I don't see the disconnect.
You're much bigger than him.
Much bigger, yeah. Like obviously Mikey's a very small but talented grappler. But yeah, it was just it came from a weird energy. You know what I mean? It was just like.
So they wanted you to coach and then compete on this card?
Yeah, as far as I know, they wanted Gordon and Mikey to coach and compete against each other. And Gordon said no to the competition aspect. I don't know if he said no to the coaching role. I don't know if they got that far. He just wasn't willing to compete against Mikey. So Mikey sort of backdoored me through a mutual friend because he was scared if he messaged me direct, I would like go after him or something. But yeah, I spoke to Mikey and then I spoke to the UFC. They made an offer. I thought it was not a fair offer for the time commitment and what I would have to give away in terms of the exclusivity type of deal there. So I really did turn it down and I went with Flow Grappling instead because Flow Grappling basically offered me whatever, you know, like it's like, hey, this is an exclusive deal. If you want to compete over there, just make sure like we can figure it out within our calendar schedule if I were to compete in the future.
If you would have signed up with the UFC idea, would you have had to shut down CJI?
No, I think they wanted to broadcast it. Like they had made us offers to broadcast in the past. But for me personally, those offers were quite embarrassingly low considering the amount of money, someone else's money that we put into it, and obviously time and effort, and also like just really wanting it to be free on YouTube. Like I think in the infancy stage, and I still consider jiu-jitsu competition in its infancy stage, I think we just need to get it out there in an exciting way to as many eyes as possible before we hide it behind a paywall.
So what was the exclusivity part of it? They didn't want you to compete for others.
Yeah, and obviously from a business perspective, it makes sense, right? They're investing all this money into us. They're marketing us. They don't want us to go elsewhere. But at the same time, it's like if you're an individual athlete, you want to face the best guys in the world. And this is the problem Mikey Musumeci has right now. Everyone keeps saying, oh, you're facing easy opponents. Like they're like, you're not facing the best guys in the world. And that's because these guys are under other organizations that the UFC will not, I believe, be willing to work with.
So if you're signed, for example, on Mikey Musumeci, who's very much one of the faces of this UFC BJJ promotion, if you will, can he not compete for CJI?
I don't believe he can, no.
That's their decision? You'd be okay with it?
Yeah, I'd be cool though. Obviously, like I think we just work together, like we're trying to grow this sport, you know?
Sure.
But again, I am sympathetic to their logic. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to protect this, what like they're investing into. But at the same time, for an event like mine, once a year, we're trying to get every good competitor around the world basically to participate in this event. And like with the money we made from the first one, we just gave away to charity. We're like building jiu-jitsu schools around the world. So it's like, I don't see our event as competition to them. But obviously they're going to be protective of their athletes. Like if their athletes were to come to CGI and lose, it's damaged their brand. They've gained nothing from it.
Are UFC fighters also not allowed? Because you know they'll allow them to do Fury grappling and all this other stuff.
Good question. I mean, basically after I had declined their offer, communications over.
Okay. Was it contentious when you declined?
Oh, I think any offer you decline comes is a little bit of contention.
No, it could just be like, hey, I get it, I respect it. Good luck.
Like
maybe we'll revisit. No, the reaction from them to you turning down the offer.
I mean, not much of a reaction. Obviously, I have my manager, Dan Maudsley, take care of that. But really, like, it's like middlemaning, a couple of direct conversations. But when it came to the later stages, really, it was just like, like they basically had a take it or leave it, non-negotiable aspect to it. So in that sort of restrictive nature, at my point in my career, I'm going to be like, no, sure. I'm not going to sign such a strong deal. You know what I mean? Like, I understand like, Andrew Tackett competed for us, put on the most exciting match, I think, in the history of jiu-jitsu. He chose to sign with them and go with that sort of UFC money, or really, I mean, what they're really offering you is the prestige, the attachment to the brand, you know, like showing your face at a UFC event, participating in UFC fan expos and shit like that, which is, if you're a kid, you grow up watching UFC, it's going to be really appealing to you. They're targeting something that's been a dream of you as a kid, so they have that strong point of leverage in the negotiations. We're going to elevate your brand, by attaching it to
Right.
our brand.
What's interesting is when they got into this and when Mikey signed and all this stuff, it was like, oh, wow, UFC's like going all in on BJJ. But correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like part of the culture and the spirit of your community is like, hey, you could pop up at this event, like you're just sort of free to compete, may the best man win. And now they're trying to change that culture. They're trying to make it more like MMA where it's like, hey, you're either with us or against us.
Exactly. And that is like I will say without a shadow of a doubt, that is basically the negotiation point for them. Are you an enemy? Are you a friend?
Uh-huh.
You know, like there's really no gray area in between.
And how is that being received by the community and by the competitors, by the fan base?
I mean, overall, I'm not sure. Like, I think a lot of people, I mean, it's hard for people to really like understand the big picture of this, right? Like, I wouldn't want to call any organization a monopoly, but like there are a lot of problems associated when there's just one dominant, say in MMA like the UFC, one event. There's really like, there's no alternative. You know what I mean? If you want to become famous in the sport of MMA, there's no alternative.
Mm-hmm.
And when there aren't alternatives, you don't have leverage to negotiate. So if it comes down to compensation, if anyone, it doesn't even have to be the UFC, if anyone came in and offered enough money early to secure the best athletes and the other organizations died, how are you going to leverage a pay rise? So like at the end of the day, what I'm trying to make sure is there is an alternative that's a big event, that's a big platform, that you can at least use it to leverage a better deal if you choose to go under these exclusive contracts.
Would you ever want to make CJI a multiple times a year thing? Or do you like it as a one-time?
I mean, like, I think given where the sport's going with the restrictive contracts, like ultimately to have a viable alternative, you would need to offer something that would provide these athletes with as many financial opportunities throughout the year. Do I personally want to do it? No, because it's so much work.
So much work.
You know, it's like herding cats dealing with these athletes. Like the individual event where it was like we just had to find 16 people in each weight division. Hey, do you want a chance at $1 million? Bang, I'm in. But to organize the teams, I thought the teams would be easier. We pick a coach, the coach picks these guys. But like a lot of the individual athletes are like, am I going to be on a winning team? Like, I want to, you know, it actually turned out to be much more difficult to build these teams.
Did you do that because you wanted to be different than UFC BJJ?
I didn't know what they were going to do. I had no idea.
So why didn't you just stick with the format of last year?
Just to show, like, because I knew it would be copied.
Okay.
I knew it would be copied. Obviously, I'm going to be offended if someone copies it and doesn't give credit. You know, obviously, it's like, it's very, very similar. You know what I mean? But like, I wanted to, for me, it was about growing the sport. And I'd always planned, knowing full well that it was going to be mimicked in some capacity by other people in the industry. To the extent that it has been, that was surprising. I think that's a testament to the success of the first event. But I always wanted to do something different for the second event. For the third event, we probably likely go back to the $1 million 16-man style event. But I wanted to showcase how exciting grappling could be. So we hooked the best athletes with $1 million for the first one. Now I really want to double down and show the fans that this is the most exciting format from a spectator's perspective. Quintet, for someone that doesn't train, will have the most appeal. It's the chaos. It could be a small guy against a big guy, and that's the goal for this event.
Thomas and Mack again?
Thomas and Mack again, yeah.
Are you still donating all the profits?
I don't know. For this one, we'll keep some of the accounts, I hope, for CGI 3, but like we actually work with Guardian program, which builds schools for like disadvantaged communities. So a lot of the money from the first event, well, not a lot, but like part of the money from the first event and banking on the profits of the second event, we're building a school in Peru. And the goal is the more successful these events are, the more schools we can build around the world. So not just growing the sport amongst sort of like the communities that can watch it on YouTube, but also growing it because of the benefits of jiu-jitsu just for people all around the world. So trying to build schools in locations where tourists don't even go. These parts are like the school in Peru, like there's really not a lot of tourists there. There's some surfers that go there, but like there is a poor community there, and jiu-jitsu can fill a healthy void for that community.
Are you at war with the UFC? Would you categorize it as such?
I mean, I don't know. Is a bazooka an act of war? I'm not sure.
I mean, The reason I ask is you're quite, you're prevalent at some of these events. You have guys that you train. You're in their corner. Do you think that you will be okay to continue to corner these fighters?
I had thought about that, and I was really. I mean, here's the thing: if you don't answer the phone calls coming your way, how do they notify you banned?
That's good.
Put the phone on do not
That's right.
disturb.
So you just show. You
They
just
gotta
show up.
They got to tell me somehow. Yeah, I mean, I would be shocked, to be honest, if they were to ban me.
If they were
cornering.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like, I mean, the big picture is like UFC hates me,
You think so?
but they also hate Dagestani wrestlers. And Jack Della is fighting Islam Makhachev. So it's a catch-22. They're like, fuck, we hate this guy, but we hate these wrestlers as well. So I think they want me. I helped them get rid of Bilal. Like, hold on a bit longer, guys. We'll get rid of Islam Makhachev for you.
It is a crazy thought, although there was a time way back when Ryan Couture wasn't allowed to have his father, Randy Couture, in his corner.
That's wild, yeah.
Now, this was a bit of a different time. I think they were a little more contentious back then. But if I'm being honest, nothing would surprise me. How did you and Jack team up? How did this happen? Because was this the first time you cornered him?
First time cornered him. I've trained with him a little bit, back and forth. I'm trying to even. I go to so many places. My memory is terrible. I brought him in. Well, I encouraged the team to bring him in, and it was obviously also beneficial for Jack at the time as well. Jack was getting ready to face Gilbert Burns, and Volks was getting ready to face Ilia Topuria. And I remember thinking, like, this would be a good blend. Like, obviously, Volks got great fence wrestling. Jack's got great boxing, sort of complementary skills for the upcoming fight. So, like, I would say that was one of the first times I spent, like, a bit of a stint with Jack. He joined Volks' camp for a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, on and off for a bit. But, yeah, this was the first time cornering him for Bilal. And we really...
What a performance.
Yeah, amazing.
How much of that credit goes to you?
All of it. I think that's fair to say. Like,
I mean, the takedown defense was unbelievable. That's all you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, this guy's not going to be able to take me down either.
Sure.
Hopefully my skills translate personally as well. But yeah, I mean, like, for me personally, when I coach an MMA fighter, like, we have a short window of time to work with him, right? So, like, Jack Della, I've been a fan of his since his, was it the Dana White Contender Series debut? And I remember seeing him hit some specific grappling moves that blew me away. So I would say that, like, as just a fan of grappling, I appreciate what he does. So when he asked me to help him, I already knew what his game sort of looked like. So it's really just adding little things in there, like, and also, most importantly, giving him confidence, right? Like, I think that's what's most important. Like, I always make jokes, I'm just holding the bucket in the corner. Obviously, most of those fights, I'm just holding the bucket, being like, good work. There's so much time's remaining. But really, like, fighting, I think, is so important, the confidence aspect of it. So, like, if you have someone that is, who you perceive to be a good grappler, encouraging you, telling you you're making the right decisions, what it's going to free you up to do on the feet is throw a bit more caution to the wind. You know, if you faced a guy like Khabib and you're like, oh, if I get taken down once, the fight's over, you're not going to be able to open up where you potentially might have a advantage. So it's really like, it's about giving proper techniques, little touch-ups, because, like, obviously, like, Volks and Jack are already so refined in what they do. You know, we're jumping in riding the coattails at the end, but it's really like just instilling that confidence so they're making the right decisions, that if they get taken down, they will get back up.
What do you think of my hometown, Montreal? I feel
beautiful.
Like you would like it.
I did like it, yeah. We enjoyed that quite a bit, actually. The after party was at Jack's house, and we kept at the Airbnb, and we kept going until they threw us out of there. So
the after party was at Jack's. You know, Montreal is like one of the great party cities of North America. They used to call it the Vegas of the East. Legendary clubs over there. I don't know if you know about this.
You're enticing me to go back. No, I mean, Jack's.
I actually felt like I was expecting like more content from you in Montreal, because there's a lot of things that I think you could have enjoyed doing over there.
I was recovering from the foot tattoo. Actually, that took like a month to recover.
The FU one.
Yeah, that took a long time. That was a terrible idea, because I was training with Jack in Perth and we had the flight away, and I was like, my feet will heal. This will be a funny joke. Get the tattoo. It took like, I think I got infected. It took 3-4 weeks. So I was like hobbling around Montreal. But yeah, obviously Jack's like a family man. That's such a special moment for him and his team, that it's kind of like, keep it close there in the apartment afterwards. But
how do you think the fight against Islam goes?
I think it's a super difficult fight for Islam, this one. He's like, obviously he's faced Volk twice. We'll forget about the second one, but the first one, very competitive with the grappling. And now we're talking about he's facing a guy that's some of the best scrambling ability, I think, period, in all of MMA, and some of the most unorthodox grappling. And I think that's what Bilal struggled with. Bilal really just sticks to a the blueprint obviously works very well. But in terms of creativity in what Bilal does, I think it's pretty strict. Jack, as you saw in that fight, some of his off balances and grip breaks and some of the things he does, it's really hard to prepare for that. So I think like Islam, the size difference is going to be quite a lot bigger than people think. And we've seen how Volk did on the ground and how much Islam struggled with him in the grappling exchanges. And having seen Jack and Volks work together, seeing the skill sets, like this is a perfect one. The UFC want guys that stand and bang. I'm trying to still help them out, even though potentially enemies.
Do you feel confident about this one?
Yeah, very, very confident for this one.
You think Islam stays at 170 after this, or do you think he goes back down?
I mean, yeah, good question. I don't know what he's weighing. Like, I think he was posting that he was pretty light, so I'm not sure how he's going to deal with that size difference. I think, obviously, worst case scenario, goes out ragdolls, potentially submits Jack. I think he's probably going to stay.
You think Ilya beats him?
Who knows with that guy? That guy surprises me every time, eh?
He's incredible, right?
Yeah, I was too hard on him at the beginning. I think I watched some of his fights and just didn't think he was that good. And then, like, I was like, oh, all right. God damn, it's one of the best ever, I think.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. I mean, I would love to see him versus Volk again at some point, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen because I don't think he's fighting at 145 and I don't think Volk's going up to 155. And I would love to see him versus Islam, but I don't think that's going to happen either.
Yeah, I think Jack, I mean, here's the thing. Like, if Jack, as I think he will, beats Islam, puts Islam in a difficult position, does he now go back down to fight Ilya after he loses? I know Ilya make jokes. He's like, oh, if you lose to Jack, you have to re-earn the shot of the title. But yeah, I think I really like Ilya's waiting for that fight, and it all is determined by how good a performance Jack does.
So these days, in terms of people who call you up and say like, hey, Craig, I want you to corner me, is it Alex, Jack?
Alex and Jack, that's it. I trained a little bit with Tom Aspinall, and we're joking around.
I saw that, yes. And Paul Hughes.
And Paul Hughes.
Yes.
Yeah,
how did that come about?
Actually, Oscar Willis, Mac Life, is friends with Tom Aspinall, so he set it up while I was over in the UK. But yeah, Tom, awesome dude.
I saw you guys recreate the John Jones bike scene.
We recreated the John Jones bike scene. I mean, I feel like we could do a whole series recreating John Jones scenes, but we'd need a few police
Sure. There it is, right here. It was nice.
Obviously, I mean, I had to twist Tom's arm into doing that. He does not like talking, continually talking about John Jones.
Sure.
Like, so it's like funny.
This is great right here when he looks.
He actually didn't know we were still filming then. That was his honest reaction. He was like, what am I doing?
What about his grappling, though? For a big man?
Yeah, he's good. I mean, he's been training jiu-jitsu since he's a kid. His dad is like, I rolled with his dad. I was looking at his dad like this older, small guy, and I was just like, I'll roll very gentle with him. But his dad brought the heat, so it's a good grappling base there. I think, though, kind of like Jack Della, is like if your striking hits a certain level and people don't see the grappling, they just assume your grappling's bad. So I think we've seen Tom Aspinall. He submitted Volkov, right?
Yeah.
So he really impressive. Really impressive.
I mean, I always say he reminds me of Cain Velasquez and Frank Mir. If they had a baby, it's Tom Aspinall.
That's true. Yeah.
Even the body type, but just like the way, like Frank Mir with the grappling, Cain with the wrestling, the striking, of course, both guys. Arguably, he's better.
Who would have won
in a fight between them?
Yeah, Tom and John Jones on the
in that fight. Oh,
on the White House lawn.
Tom,
yeah, I think
John's not a dummy. He knows there's a lot of currency in retiring undefeated, right? So what's the point? Even though I would say you had one fight left, and if you would have just retired in November after the Stipe fight, none of this would have been a real thing. People would have said, oh, you ducked, but that kind of would have gone away. The fact that he dragged this out for so long, and really, if we're calling it like we see it, if we want to speak of the truth, he asked for a big number, and I think he was banking on the UFC not saying yes to that number. So they say like, hey guys, I tried. The UFC actually met the number, and then he was kind of...
I wish I could say the same about the UFC, but unfortunately, here we are.
Did you ask for a big number?
Yeah. I mean, it's the last stage of the career. I'm talking about control of my options. You know what I mean? Like, you want to be compensated for that, right?
Sure. Like, how long was the contract for that they were asking? Because
I mean, that part was really, they had a little bit of room there, but really it was kind of a commitment. Like, I'll be 34 in
July 17th.
July 17th, yes.
We have multiple July babies on the team. That's why
really?
I noticed. Yes. Happy early birthday.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, so it's like, obviously, I don't want to do this forever. I don't know how dudes are competing at 40, 41 and stuff like that. So, like, I see the end pretty near competition-wise. So it's like, to sign away the end, I'd want to be well compensated just in case. Like we see the sports payment structure just growing. So it's like you lock yourself down for a certain time period, you might miss out on a massive payday down the line.
Anyone trying to get you to fight before it's all said and done?
Yeah, I mean, I'll likely...
MMA, that is.
Me fight MMA?
Yeah.
I still think me, Gabby Garcia rematch with the gloves on would be a great option.
Where? Japan?
I think Japan's the only country that would allow it to happen, maybe.
You'd be open to this?
Who knows? That could happen on the White House lawn, you know?
How are you and Gabby these days?
Good. Yeah, I mean, she just calls me up to see what I'm doing with my life and laugh at me. But that's the foundations of a strong relationship, I think.
We saw a video. So you were in Ukraine recently, right?
Yep.
There's a video of you like in the fields, and as you're watching the video, we could play it now with the sound up.
Oh yeah.
This video right here, it's like I could hear the bullets whizzing by.
Yeah, bullet hit next to my leg. You see it like the ricochet hit off the glass. Yeah.
Is this legit?
That is unfortunately that is legit. There.
Where is this?
This was near Kramatorsk. So I've been.
What are you doing in the field there?
I mean, the camouflage was not a good choice there, you know. But
why are you doing this?
Why? Oh, I'm just supporting my buddies over there.
I know, but like, you could get killed. You're at peace with that.
I mean, like the other end, like I went to Ukraine to do a seminar. Like I've been there 3 times now, and it's kind of like if I'm going to go to Kyiv, and a lot of the soldiers train jiu-jitsu, they're stuck on the front lines. If I'm going to go to Kyiv and teach the people that live in Kyiv, but the soldiers are like, well, what about us? Like you're in a pretty tough position to be like, oh, you're on your own out there. You know what I mean? So like that's kind of the foundation for going to the front line. And now I've been to Kherson, Kharkiv. I've been to some of the most dangerous cities. I mean, it's also good. Like,
where do you fly into? Poland?
Poland, and then you just have like this brutally long drive.
How long?
I mean, it depends on how angry Polish immigration are that day, but like, there's not a lot of smiles coming from Polish people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
what is it, like 10 hours?
I've been stuck at the border 5-6 hours one time.
Damn.
But like, 15-hour journey minimum. I remember.
What is life like? Like you're like walking around Kyiv. Like, is there a hotel? Where do you sleep?
There's hotels. Yeah, last time actually, this recent time I rented a penthouse because I was like wanted to see, because Kyiv's such a beautiful city. I think that's what shocked me is like people think it's like this thing separate to Europe, but then you see it and you're like, this is one of the most beautiful cities I've ever seen. So this time I was like, I'll book a penthouse so I could have a view of the city. And I remember like the building I stayed in had been bombed like 3 months before, and the guys were like, penthouse a bad choice, my man, with the airstrikes going on. So like, luckily I was fine. Then this time I went to Kharkiv to see my buddy Roman. Roman's a jiu-jitsu black belt. He lived in Ukraine. He went back to, he lived in France for 8 years, and then he went back to Ukraine to enlist because his family was still there. And now 3.5 years later, he's still there.
Damn.
He used to fight MMA, used to travel around, living the good life doing jiu-jitsu, but made that sacrifice to go back. So I actually did a European seminar tour, and I basically gave all the money to my buddy Ukraine. So I won't say how much because it might get me in trouble, but yeah. And he's just bought a bunch of drones. So it's like it has a lot of significance to me to make sure that money's going directly to him to buy supplies that are going to, like, it's like you're really basically protecting your friend's life here. You know, that's like a close friend of mine. And if funds are low over there, that actually puts their lives in direct danger. So the European trip was sort of like a last-minute fundraiser because my buddy's battalion needed some cash, so I was able to get the cash to him in Kharkiv. But Kharkiv's...
Is that him?
That's him, yeah.
Legend.
Kharkiv's a very heavy city. It's like every night we were there was like bombs. I remember one night I heard what I thought was a mosquito. It turned out to be like a Shahid drone. So when we looked out the window, you hear this just buzzing coming closer and closer and closer to, we're seeing rockets getting shot out of the sky. So it's pretty surreal, but it's also like shows the resilience of the people that live there. You know, life has to go on, you know?
Do you have to run to bomb shelters a lot?
I don't do it because they don't do it, you know? Like
they don't do it?
Yeah, you can't be the only one running. You know?
Sure.
So obviously, there's a hit close by. Oftentimes, I do a double tap to try and kill the first responders, unfortunately. So, like, yeah, if something hits close, get out of Dodge. But yeah.
Damn. How long were you there for?
This last trip was maybe 10 days.
Are you ever nervous? Are you ever like, man?
I'm honestly like, I'll just be like, kind of, I feel like I'm in safe hands.
But like that video that we just played, that doesn't look like you're in safe hands. Like, with all due respect, it looks like you're being attacked.
Yeah, I didn't know how close the bullets were going. Like, you hear that.
Sounded close.
Like, you don't know. Like, obviously, in retrospect, we watched the video, and when I talked to the troops and stuff, they were very close. Like, one hit maybe this far from my leg.
Jeez.
could have been on the injury shelf for a while with that. But yeah, I mean, you're obviously nervous, but in the moment, yeah, I don't know how to
It's a
explain
wild
that.
thing, man. How's morale, by the way, there? Like when you walk around, when you talk to the people?
Yeah, I mean, they obviously put on a brave face.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, morale, it's been going on a long time now. Like for those guys, like really 2014 is when they took Crimea. So it's like for these guys, and especially some of the soldiers have been fighting since 2014. So yeah, it's like morale is low, but
All those
obviously-
flags represent the fallen?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, those are fallen soldiers. So, and here, this is a residential building that got hit. The night before I arrived in Kyiv this time, this got hit. I believe it killed like maybe 14 or there was either 14 or 28 people died. And it was like Russia just targeting civilian locations. So that one was pretty heavy because we're watching them rebuild and a few kids died in that one. So it's like they got the playground there with the flowers and the parents are there. But I mean, they're persevering, but it is like quite a big battle for them, you know, like a country of 50 million, obviously with some international support, but Russia's like a 150 million people war machine, you know, like they're overcoming massive obstacles to keep the front line where it is.
Then you spent a significant amount of time in Colombia as well.
That's a war zone in and of itself.
I was worried for you over there. I saw some videos of you.
Yeah.
It looked like you were drugged or something.
Yeah, you know, that was actually
What is this? What's going on here?
Have you ever heard of the devil's breath or scopolamine?
I think I've heard someone talking about it. It's like a drug that you'd put in a drink, right?
Yeah. So it's like I remember Vice did a doc on it back in the day, and I
Look at this.
watched.
That's you there with the
Yeah,
hat,
that's
right?
me. Yeah, that's me.
That's fucked.
Yeah, so we were down on just the main strip, just people watching. We weren't even drinking much that night. Like it was kind of for a Colombia night out. It was a
Tame.
couple drinks, go home. But then I don't know what happened really, but some two jiu-jitsu dudes sat next to me and took a photo. And then the bar staff became very attentive. But yeah, I don't remember anything.
You think they did it?
Not those guys, but I think like obviously if someone takes a photo with someone,
Oh, that's
gonna-
like a bullseye.
yeah, little do they know we're operating on jiu-jitsu money here, nothing to take.
Why do
but-
you think they would do that? Like, do you think someone was out to get you?
Oh no, it's just like there are a lot of tourists targeted.
Sure.
In especially Medellin, they're obviously like Tinder and stuff like that. Guys go missing. I think it's like one of the most dangerous spots for U.S. Tourists traveling around the world. So you are a target there. And scopolamine has this strange trait where you kind of you're out of it, but you remember numbers. You remember details of like, so you could give someone scopolamine. Oftentimes it's so dangerous that people do die just from the drug itself, but you would remember your logins for crypto. Like I remember what was surreal was in that security video. The reason we realized it was scopolamine was because we got to the Airbnb and I like sprung up and put the code in to enter and then passed back out. So it's like you remember the details. Scopolamine it's kind of a bit of a mythic thing too, right? Because you got a wife and kids and the account gets drained at a strip club or something, must have been drugged in Colombia with scopolamine. But yeah, it is definitely a real.
How long did that last? Like, how long were you out for?
Ooh, I was probably a good 8-9 hours, just like completely.
And who was carrying you?
So that's my business partner, Seth. He runs CGI with us. And what was funny is the reason we weren't even drinking is because he went to Colombia to get stem cells in his neck. So that night he's not drinking, and I've had a couple of drinks. I remember calling him. I'm like, "You pussy, have another drink." So I ended up drinking both the doses
of the
scopolamine.
Oh my gosh!
And then he had to carry me out of the place we were at with his stem cell jammed up neck. So I probably destroyed all the benefits of the stem cells he had.
Oh my dear!
Well, at least the people.
And why were you in Colombia?
For the culture, the tourism, the sites.
You have a bunch of videos on your YouTube page, the B Team YouTube page, where it's like 90 Day Fiance.
Oh yeah, we made a play on that. 90 Day Fiance. We're calling it 90-minute Fiance.
90-minute.
Yeah, we're trying to.
And who are the girls in the video?
I mean, just chicks
Random.
I meet along the way.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. So you're not spoken for necessarily. You haven't found the one.
No, I haven't found the one. No, that's the pursuit of 90 days.
That's right.
90-minute Fiance. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Colombia. I mean, it's a fun place to go. Like, obviously, it has its dangers and stuff. I wouldn't discourage people from going, but I would say, like, I got hit because some jiu-jitsu dudes recognized me, and I think the bartenders drugged me. Most of the time, dudes are going on Tinder dates with women that are probably way out of their usual abilities, and I think, like, that's where the danger lies. Like,
is that the only scary, quote-unquote, thing that happened to you over there?
I would say so, yeah. I would say so in Colombia. I actually ended up meeting Pablo Escobar's older sister.
Yeah. Saw that. Someone DM'd you about this, right? And said, I know his.
Yeah, someone, you check the DMs like that. Someone's like, you want to meet Escobar's sister? I was like, oh, is this legit? Is this not legit? And he sent me some dodgy pictures, and I thought, oh, you know what? This is probably, he seems like he's in the industry. So then I met her for dinner. We had a few wines and stuff, and she was telling some stories about Pablo, but like largely just obviously maintaining her image of Pablo.
Sure.
Yeah, she was just.
Was she nice?
She was a lovely lady.
Did it kind of like end on a sour note?
A little bit, yeah, because we got the, being the engineer I am, putting my degree to use, is we put the spoons on the end of the sunglasses. So like, she's obviously not a fan of the nose beers herself.
Yeah.
Obviously a lot of Colombians aren't because of the history of what that's done to the country. But yeah, I remember we got it. I was like, can you try these on for me? And we took a photo together. And then when she realized the spoons were on the end, she wasn't a fan, but she did laugh it off.
Did she just like leave?
No. She was just like, oh, I don't know. I'm not into that,
By the way, when we posted that you were going to be on, there were a lot of messages about nose beers. You come up with that term?
No, I don't know I think it's an Australian culture thing, yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
So, yeah, it's like...
is that a term for cocaine?
That is a term for cocaine.
I never heard of that before.
Cocaine or not?
No, nose beers.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's like... just some slang for it,
Okay.
Good time.
When you're competing, do you have to cut all that out?
Depends on the danger of the opponent.
Like for Gable?
For Gable, I mean, that's a big boy, I mean, we could take any PD we can get our hands on for this.
Okay.
But yeah.
Will you be doing that?
For this, no, I'll try and get healthy for this one. We've had too much of a good time the last year, so it's like competition's a good excuse for me to get back in shape.
So like when you cut it all out, like how long before?
Probably 48 hours. The junk.
Oh, that's it.
Bottle. Nah, we'll get healthy for this one. Honestly, I'm so busy with the CJI. There's so much shit going on that it's like I just need to stay sober.
So like, where's the home base when you're locking in for this?
We're actually like, I just picked up a 89 Lincoln Town car, and we're going to do like a bit of a road trip around the country and promoting. It's like a Hunter S. Thompson political campaign promoting CJI.
I love it.
So we'll just be popping into gyms in different cities. Like no organized seminar where I'm trying to get money. I'm just going to show up to people's gyms and surprise them, roll them.
So different cities in America.
Yeah, and hopefully they don't beat me up. Hopefully I still.
Yeah, and you get some training in.
Yeah, that's the idea. For
Brilliant.
Sure.
And this is three 5-minute rounds.
3 5-minute rounds. Yeah.
And UFC took that model as well.
Yeah, I mean, all right. To be fair, I stole there. They were doing 3 fights for MMA.
Sure. And
I always said, what, like that would work great for grappling. I think some Russian event, ACB, did it for grappling, and it worked quite well. They took that back, I guess, that I took from them. The pit I stole from Karate Combat, they reinvented the wheel with their pit by just curving a little bit, making an octagon. The geniuses, the technical geniuses they are. Yeah, I mean, pretty much the same thing.
So your match against Gable is a one-off, right? It's not a part of the team. So are there any other super matches like this?
We have a 4-woman tournament for 100K, so it's actually the highest female prize money in jiu-jitsu history. We have Anna Vieira, Adele Fenerio, and Helena Craver. We need to fill the 4th spot.
Helena was just doing Polaris, right?
Yeah, super active.
Yeah.
Probably the best up-and-coming prodigy in the sport. Like, in terms of her accomplishments, like, she rarely loses. It's incredible. Incredible to watch.
Scottish? Is she Scottish? Where's she from? Somewhere in Europe, right?
Maybe she looks a bit Romanian, maybe. Okay. I don't know. Good question.
But she's European?
I believe so. I believe her parents are from Europe somewhere.
Okay.
But yeah, she's out training with Danaher and just super active.
Who's the 4th?
We're trying to figure it out.
Okay.
Might have to call up Gabby Garcia, get her ass back in there.
That would be cool. I was thinking like a Mackenzie Dern or someone like that, but...
We could try.
Yeah.
We could try. You have the connections. Get Hunter on the horn.
I don't know if he's answering that call. I don't don't
answer his calls either.
Nice one. By the way, so like Mikey was saying, I saw his post-match. Did you watch his match?
I did watch his match, yeah.
I saw his post-match, and he said something to the effect of that he had to take his social media off his phone because he was afraid of any messages he might get. Would that be from like Craig Jones supporters or from you specifically?
Oh, I mean, me and him talk back and forth. We're actually like fine with each other, like even when we were talking about doing the show together, it would have been exaggerated, but largely would have been friendly. Like, obviously, like, I attack people, but like, I'm trying to not like twist the knife too hard, like I actually want to keep it in good fun. Like, so for Mikey, it is in good fun. But yeah, he did, what's this? Yeah, I'm waving the white flag. We're cool, yeah.
And that's you.
I'll take that as, yeah, that's a victory. I mean, yeah, Mikey's
That's a victory.
Mikey's not my enemy. You know, he's chilling.
How could you be mad at Mikey? Such a nice guy.
It's true, yeah. I'm not mad at him. It's just just falls victim by association, you know. But like most of the time, I'm just trying to make fun of these guys in a lighthearted way. Like I made a lot of Bilal Muhammad jokes, but like me and Bilal were chilling. You know, I messaged him afterwards just to be like, yo, like, you know, I actually felt super bad for Bilal. I thought they set him up when he did the weigh-ins, and the guy was like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not even gonna fucking comment on that. That's like, how could you do that? They just called his name out.
I know.
You know, so it's like, I love a bit of fun like that, a bit of lighthearted fun. Nothing too. I crossed the line accidentally. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like
it's not malicious.
Yeah, it's not coming from a bad place.
What about this Bella Mir? Did you see her?
I didn't watch her match.
Oh, Frank's daughter.
Frank's daughter, yeah. Look incredible.
I mean, it's just kind of cool to see Frank's daughter, but yes, collegiate wrestler, MMA fighter. She has a fight coming up. Yeah. 22. Seems like she has a bright future.
Brock's daughter, does she?
Brock's daughter, yeah.
That would be the match.
She does, I think shot put. She does some sort of track and field, but Ian Freeman, I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah.
Ian Freeman fought Frank Mir at UFC 38. The brawl at Royal Albert Hall in London.
First London one, right?
Yeah, and she now signed with the UFC.
Really?
So that might be his daughter, Kennedy Freeman, signed with the UFC.
That's wild.
So Kennedy versus Bella, although different weight classes, 135 and 125. I think Bella competes at 45. But anyway, it's just kind of cool as, you know, someone who watched Frank in his prime to now see his daughter killing it.
It's wild because you always think of like, oh, I have a son, maybe our sons will fight, like the boxing fight recently, but now it's like, oh, maybe our daughters will fight. I think it's a fucking cool
The Eubanks. Do you think this might be it, like this particular match against Gable? This could be it for you?
I think more than likely. You know what I mean? Like,
really? This could be your retirement match.
This could be the retirement match.
Are you just saying that to promote this, or are you being serious?
I mean, like, to be honest, like my drive to compete is less. Like, I'm doing the CGI, I have like other things. Like my drive would be to leave a legacy in the sport that grows the sport. Like, I get more fulfillment out of building these gyms for these kids around the world. Like, that was my focus. To be honest, me competing, even against Gabby, like, obviously I could have done ADCC. I knew that the Gabby match would blow up. It had been brewing. There'd been a lot of foreplay for years on that one. So it's like, I'm trying to compete now and help leverage the other athletes on the card. You know, in CGI, really, I'm trying to use the brand I've built to bring these guys up a bit more, you know, like to help people grow in the sport. So like, I'll compete, obviously, if the money's, you can twist my arm with some money, right? But for the most part, I'll just continue to compete in big matches that could elevate the sport in an effort to kind of grow the sport. I
mean, this is it. I would imagine it's probably easier to put this event together if you're not competing, right? If you could just focus on putting the event together and not training.
Yeah, the promotion aspect's so much more difficult. There's so many challenges, and like obviously, like we're allegedly going up against a pretty big, like a pretty dominant organization here.
You think they're gonna try to screw with you?
I think to the degree at which they will actually do it, I don't know. But like in terms of if we're seen as a rival, I think they are very aggressive in their business practices, and it wouldn't surprise me. And nor what they've done has surprised me in terms of how they go about things. So like I do foresee some unforeseen obstacles ahead, just in the sense that we are seen as a rival. And a lot of people will say like I'm trying to unionize grappling and stuff like that. And obviously that's been attempted in MMA. You know, like it's not something they're a fan of, I would imagine.
Do you think that could happen in grappling? I feel like it's way too splintered.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of like you're kind of like tricking these people into forming a union. You know what I mean? Like I created CGI to try to strong arm ADCC into paying more. We're kind of by paying these guys more myself, I'm kind of tricking them into forming a unionized front. So it's like I think whether or not they agree with the philosophy behind it or really necessarily the methodology, we can convince them with our own finances to really unionize. I just hope that they understand the goal here is to maintain the power in the athlete's hands. CGI1 put a lot of power in people's hands by making them make a choice. We're trying to still do that with this event. Like, I do not want any other organization to cease to exist. I just want them the athletes to have more leverage. At the end of the day, if you're going to sign an exclusive deal, make sure you get paid, compensated well. And the way to do that is to explain about the other opportunities you have. And if you have a chance at $1 million tournament and they're offering you 10 and 10, it's like we're giving you something to demand more money from these guys. And that at the end of the day, I think is ultimately for the greater good here of the athletes themselves. Whether they understand it, I at least am trying to trick them into being able to leverage better for themselves.
By the way, I haven't talked to you since the Gabby match. You're very elusive. It's hard. It's like you'll pop up and then you'll disappear for like 10 days. Like her strength, rolling with her?
Pathetic.
Pathetic.
Absolutely pathetic, yeah. And I'm thinking Gable Stevenson will be the same, you know?
You think
I'm
so?
hoping so, yeah. I've seen him in the singlet.
Yeah.
We had a big...
Did you enjoy grappling against her?
Yeah. Obviously, we made a lot of jokes to build that matchup, right? Me and Gabby, at the end of the day, super close, super friendly with each other, you know? And like, for me, the shot, like, it's like what you came for isn't what you left with, but it's still good. And in that sense, it's like Gabby has always been this like 10-time world champion, and everyone was like, look at her, she's way bigger than the girls, of course she's going to win. And she was kind of unappreciated. Even her match against Mackenzie Dern, which she lost, she's kind of like being booed by the crowd and stuff. So like, for me to ultimately see her be celebrated by the crowd, and I think like the ability to laugh at yourself is very important. So she was able to laugh at herself in the lead up to this match, and then ultimately by making the decision to side with us and explain the reasons why in a post-match interview and seeing the crowd support her for who she truly is. That was probably the best part of CGI for me.
Will she be a part of the second one?
In what capacity, I'm not sure, but for sure, whether I have to go down there, drive and throw in the trunk of this car, we'll get her to CGI too.
No chance she competes.
I mean, you never know. We'll see who. You looking for an opponent?
For myself, no, but I mean, she is an attraction, right?
It is your birthday. I'll make the call.
I'm just saying she's a big star in that world, and a lot of them are now being tied up. I do think it's good when you get the MMA guys in there, because it draws people like me in as well who may not know, you know, the just jiu-jitsu only.
Who's the
superstars.
biggest MMA fighter and woman we could have Gabby face?
Oh my gosh!
You know what? You know who I tried to convince? Demetrius Johnson.
Oh yes, that would be the one.
Unfortunately, he was scared of her.
Demetrius versus Gabby?
In the gi.
Oh my gosh, in the gi?
Demetrius, mate, don't be afraid.
Come on, DJ. By the way, no promotional ties. You're cool with one championship, right?
Yeah, they actually, all their athletes are allowed to compete for us.
Oh, DJ versus Gabby would be box office.
That would
be incredible.
That would be.
Did you actually offer it to him?
Yeah. He wasn't interested in it.
Was it last year or this year?
This year.
This year. What did he say?
He said he's never been with a woman that big, and I said, I hadn't either. She's gentle. Like,
oh my God. Who do you think would win that? My God, what a fun match that would be.
It would be an exciting match.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I mean, I think, even if we could pull in a Henry Cejudo or something, I think she'd take Henry down in a heartbeat.
He's UFC. You think they'll let him?
Good question. Be a good pitch to
Paul Hughes?
Reopen the conversation. Paul Hughes would be good. When's his rematch? He's getting ducked.
Seems it's a weird one.
That's crazy.
I don't know if it's an official duck. I think PFL is trying to push it to January because they have this deal with Abu Dhabi or Dubai, excuse me, and they want it to be there. But it's like this fight happened in January and everyone was talking about it. You have an amazing thing. Just do it now. You need all the buzz you can get. I
was trying to tell him, I mean, like all of like Sambo in and of itself, which these guys celebrate. They say, if Sambo is easy to be called jiu-jitsu? All of these guys are terrified of heel hooks. It scares them beyond belief. I was like, Paul, all you need, one heel hook. That's over. It's done. It's easy. That's why I really wanted to have Khabib talks a lot about how good Sambo is. You know what I mean? Like, my opinion is Sambo is just a bunch of judo guys decided to take their pants off and wrestle. That is really what Sambo is. So I want him to put up or shut up, basically.
Okay.
So we have Mika Galvao. Mika Galvao is with Flo, but he's available to compete for CGI. And I think in the nature of a team's event, I think Mika could probably run through consecutively the entire Khabib team, back to back to back to back. So I'm putting the call out on the show. If you Sambo guys really mean business, give us your best five. Jiu-jitsu rules.
Wow.
Versus Mika Galvao. I reckon Mika would submit every guy on Khabib's team in under a minute.
Are you saying 5 versus 1?
But yeah, I mean, and that's favorable to Mika, in my opinion. I think you wear the T-shirt. If Sambo was easy, it'd be cool jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yo, that would be crazy. So you're essentially saying Team Sambo, Team Khabib versus Galval.
Yeah, and
one dude.
Anyone that can get a visa from Russia that wants to face Mika Galval, it's not going to last long.
I love this. I'd love to see Volk involved as well. But
we tried that.
Oh, you did?
We tried that for CGI1. We tried to have, actually, in a no leg lock match, Mike Musumeci versus Volkanovski.
Okay. And what happened?
The the higher ups weren't interested.
Meaning the UFC?
Yeah, I believe part of it was also like
he wasn't even champion at that time.
Yeah, and part of it I think was also that like Izzy was fighting in Perth at the time, and they didn't want one of their stars competing in something that potentially draw eyes away from that thing.
Okay. Oh yes, it was around the same time. Yes.
But Volk wants to be busy. The man wants to do anything, fight, compete. You know, like, so it's like...
I don't even know who he's going to fight. It's unclear. They're having Mopsar fight Aaron Pico.
I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, I have no idea either. I haven't heard...
He's got nothing booked.
Nothing booked as far as I know. If he's got something booked, he should tell me because I got to make...
You should. You got to make your schedule.
Make room in the calendar somewhere.
You'll come down there, right? You'll go over there?
Yeah, I always got the boys back. I always participate in their camps. If there was ever a situation where I wasn't allowed a corner, I'm not in it for the corner. I'm in it to help them prepare. So, like, no matter what happens in the future... I'll always help these guys train. You know, it's like friends to me. It's like, and we're talking about their health,
right?
Their safety. You know what I mean? If I can contribute positively in any capacity to that, I'm obviously going to be a part of it.
You're a good man. August 30th and 31st.
August 30th, 31st.
Thomas and Mack. Tickets
Mack
available?
Tickets available now.
There's the poster. CJI2.
And soon to be announced, Demetrius Johnson, Gabby Garcia.
Yeah, come on, DJ. Should we call him right now?
Call him.
Should we call him? Put him on the spot.
Put him on the spot.
Think it'll piss him off if I do that?
Nah.
Let's see if he... Oh, Demetrius Johnson just texted me.
Let's see what he says.
Okay, wait. He's asking me for... Okay, so he wasn't watching because this was... Actually, he might have been watching. It was 20 minutes ago. So I'm going to tell him. I'm FaceTiming him. Let's see. Do you think he picks up? He might be watching right now. Someone might have alerted him. We are live. And we don't usually FaceTime. We're more texters. He texted me 23 minutes ago. Didn't wish me a happy birthday, by the way.
Typical Demetrius Johnson behavior.
Come on, DJ. This is it. This is your chance. Oh, thanks. You did that for me?
I'm an artist, yeah.
No. I'll work on this.
If you can get that, man, put the feelers out.
Oh, here, we're recording a video. 3, 2. DJ, we're live on the show. Look who's here.
Face your fears, Demetrius Johnson.
Come on. You versus Gabby Garcia, August 31st.
August 31st. They're going to take you out of the Hall of Fame if you don't do it, man. Don't be afraid.
Night 2, and they're taking you out of the Hall of Fame. You're not even in the Hall of Fame, but they're going to take you out if you don't accept the fight.
And one thing's for sure. I'll pay you more than your old contract at that company did, man.
Come on, DJ. I'll corner you. We'll see you there. Oh, I have to upload this. Okay, there it is. You're the man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, bro.
Good luck. Thank you for coming. Please stay safe. Don't get killed. We love you. Craig Jones. We're going to take a quick break. We'll bring in Cherneka Johnson. We're going from one Australian to a New Zealander. You know Cherneka?
I don't, but I probably should if she's a Kiwi, yeah.
She's incredible. She's bantamweight champion. She's fighting at MSG this Friday on the Netflix card.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Actually, I think she has. She works with the fight dietitian.
Oh, Geordie.
Yeah.
Sick.
So he works with all you guys. Anyway, quick break. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Thank you so much for coming in. You've been all over the world since we last spoke. Last time I spoke to you, you were in the driveway on Long Island.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
right after the fight.
House, yeah.
Yes. And since then, this scene of you in Georgia, it's unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
It's hard to like. You're so down to earth. You're such a like chill, humble guy, and then we see these scenes of you coming home, the airport. I saw one thing where a guy tried to jump onto your bus. Crazy Georgians.
Bro, I mean,
this is it right here. This guy tried to jump on. What is it? Yeah. It's crazy.
Bro, like this is, you see this on camera, but like I was shocked. Like everybody was trying to touch me. Everybody wanted to autograph from me. Everybody want to take a picture. Everybody want to hug me. Everybody want to say something. And then I'm still same guy. Maybe even, I was shocked too. Like, you know, like so many people wanted to see you. Even even I go Azerbaijan, even I'm here, like the people, like now that I came, more fights I have, that I came more popular, and the people saw me excited. I'm shocked, like I don't know. I want to give everybody love back, but it's impossible,
Is it overwhelming?
I don't know this word exactly.
It's like so much. It's hard to handle.
No, at this point, like in here in US, if I walk somewhere and the people don't recognize me, I'm happy. But even if somebody recognize me, I'm happy too.
Yeah.
But it's not too much. But it's after my fight, it was hard. I go to Georgia, see so many people. Like it's good, but I can't training. I can't relax,
You can't train.
Yeah, too much love, man. Too much
my
love.
gosh.
People like
People
everybody.
come to the gym if you're there
Yeah, then taking pictures
all day.
all day.
Was this more than the last time you came home?
Yes, this was more, of course.
It's getting bigger and bigger.
Bigger and bigger, man. Every time we fight, these small gyms in Georgia getting full. Every time I fight or Ilya fight or other Georgian guys fighting, the small gyms. We don't have like a big gyms, like a big good quality gym in Georgia. I'm trying to build now. I'm still working on some projects.
Okay, that was my conversation with Merab Dvalishvili, the UFC bantamweight champion. That was my conversation with Craig Jones. What a guy. Enjoy him very much. He's a great character. Is our guest outside, by the way?
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's keep the train rolling along. In about 40 minutes' time, we're going to be joined by one of the best boxers in the world, WBC lightweight champion Shakur Stevenson, who headlines July 12th, Louis Armstrong Stadium in Queens against William Zepeda. Highly anticipated fight. Can't wait to talk to him. He's one of the most interesting guys and best shit talkers in the game. But as you know, Friday, MSG, Netflix, maybe the most star-studded card of all time. In total, 21 titles being defended across 5 fights, 8 fights total, 3 undisputed title fights, and we have one half of one of those undisputed title fights. Obviously, main event, you've got Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano for the super lightweight title. In the co-main event, you have Alicia Baumgartner defending her undisputed belts. And then lower on the card, we have the pride of both New Zealand and Australia, Cherneka Johnson going up against Shurretta Metcalf for the undisputed bantamweight title. She is the WBA bantamweight champion, and she joins us in studio right here and now. Yes, there she is, Sugar Neeks herself. Hello, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good to
How are
see you. Let's hug it
Likewise.
out. Yes, pleasure. Thank you for coming in. I know
you for
that
having me.
it's a busy time. Hello there. Is this someone who knows you?
Yes, this is my friend Cassandra.
Nice to meet you. Hello. It's so good to have you here. Did you meet Craig Jones back there? No. He was our previous guest. He's also from Australia, and he's a legend in the world of jiu-jitsu. He was the guy just sitting here
Yes, I seen him,
moments
but
ago.
I didn't.
You didn't get
meet
a chance to
no.
meet him.
He took off.
He's a crazy character from Australia and trains the likes of Alex Volkanovski.
He
And,
trains.
He
him.
trains. He's his
Right.
jiu-jitsu coach.
Oh, I should have
And he also works with the fight dietitian.
Geordie.
Yes, who works with you too, right?
Yes, he does. He's the best.
Yeah, absolutely. Come closer to the microphone if you don't mind. Don't be shy. Welcome.
Move this?
Yes, do whatever you want. Welcome to New York.
Thank you.
This is amazing. This is a huge opportunity for you.
Massive.
First time fighting in the U.S.
Yes, and I'm very excited.
Have you ever been to New York before?
I haven't, no.
Your first time in New York City, you'll be fighting at Madison Square Garden.
Yep, how crazy is that? I still sort of can't believe it, but we're here and I like to live in the moment, so I'm taking it all in.
When did you get here?
Got in on Sunday night.
Sunday night,
Sunday
okay.
night, yeah.
Did you go to MSG yet?
I've walked past.
Okay.
It looks
Incredible, right?
Yes.
This is the world's most famous arena. Ali Frazier fought there. Bo Holyfield, like some of the greatest fights of all time.
and now I get to
And now
fight
you're
there.
getting to fight there on a historic card. 21 titles being defended across 5 fights, 3 undisputed fights. I don't know if you saw earlier today, Guinness announced most amount of titles on one boxing card
I did
ever.
see that one.
They're saying 17. I think they're not recognizing the 4 ring titles for whatever reason.
Okay.
But this is a big freaking deal.
It's huge.
And you weren't. So I hosted the press conference in April. You weren't there. It was Dina Thorsland against Shurretta Metcalf. How did you get involved in this? And before you answer that, your microphone's annoying me.
Sorry.
I have OCD. No, it's just not straight. It's like a little bit crooked. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. Frank is going to get mad at me for my audio guy. I think it's better now. Okay,
Okay.
go ahead.
So yeah, I'm always somewhat in the gym, somewhat ready, somewhat in shape. We got a call from my manager saying, "Hey, look, Dina Thursland is out of the fight with Shurretta Metcalf. Do you want it?" I was like, yes, I do want it. I'm taking it with both hands. This is a huge opportunity. And I think for me, I had no hesitation because we were eyeing off the winner anyway.
Okay. So what was this, like maybe 5 weeks ago?
5 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yep.
And you were good to go?
Good to go. We had a quick turnaround, obviously. So I've been in Montreal doing my camp there.
This is very exciting for me as a proud Montrealer. So anytime I see you posting about things in Montreal, I'm like, this is crazy because
It's in my hometown.
yes, this is a
Hometown,
great
right?
place. Hometown, yes. Born and raised.
Yep.
What do you think of Montreal, by the way?
I didn't get to experience much of it because camp mode, so dialed in, back to my room, rest, recover, train. But everyone was very lovely. And I was in there once before. And from what I'd seen, Old Town,
Yes,
Montreal,
Old Montreal.
very beautiful.
So where are you staying? Like which part of Montreal?
Laval?
Laval.
Laval,
Okay, yes. It's a little bit French over there.
Very
Yes.
much so. So I wasn't really aware. I was walking around trying to find my bearings and find everywhere. Found a yoga studio. I booked in and the whole class was in French.
Yes.
Thought, okay, we'll just follow the leader here.
Do you feel like a bit of a fish out of water?
A little bit, but I'm comfortable within myself to just go with the flow, see where it takes me, and I had a good time.
And how did the connection with Montreal? I mean, you live in Australia. You're from New Zealand, born in New Zealand, right? But you train out of Australia, and that's where you live. That's your home.
Gold Coast.
Yes. How do you get to Montreal? What's the connection there?
The connection is my trainer Craig is quite close with, very close with my cutman Russ Amber.
Legend,
Absolute legend. And I was fortunate enough to have both of them in my corner for the training camp. And we just thought, you know what, we'll get adapted to the time zone for here in New York first. And there was some really quality sparring that we had over here. And it was just eyes in, camp mode sort of thing. A little bit of, what would you call it? Be secluded to focus solely on the camp just because we had the short turnaround.
Okay. Rick?
Yeah, we're just moving the bottle.
Okay, he's moving the bottle.
Sorry.
No, it's
Okay.
okay. You got to be hydrated.
Very hydrated.
How is the cut, by the way?
Cut's going great. Not far off weight, and I'm still well hydrated, well energy, and one day to go pretty much. Weigh-ins Thursday, and
it's quite humid out there, so
it is. I'm a little bit
Yes.
clammy. Like, come on.
because it's winter time back home, right?
It is.
How cold does it get?
Maybe like 15, 13 degrees
Celsius.
Degrees Celsius.
Oh, that's nothing. So it doesn't snow or anything.
No, it doesn't
Okay.
snow. So I'm glad I'm not here in winter, to be honest.
Montreal would be an awful place. It is. I think it's inhumane, and I grew up there. How cold it is. Like it's nothing near what it is here. Like it will get to like minus 20 Celsius on a regular day.
So I've heard, and I was just thankful that I wasn't
Yes,
there
yes.
to experience it.
When this card was being put together, you weren't a part of it, and you're starting to see all these women getting signed, and it really feels like a showcase. It's the greatest women's card of all time. It's not the first all women's card. There have been others, Clarissa and Savannah headlined and all that stuff, but it's without a doubt the greatest. Were you sort of feeling like on the outside looking
I had
in?
big FOMO. Like
Okay.
I seen
That was the
everyone.
word I was looking for.
Yeah, I had big FOMO. I was like, man, everyone's getting on this fight, and I was hoping to fight either Shurretta or Dina. Like I had my fingers crossed thinking, oh yeah, I'll be able to fight on that card against one of them. And it didn't happen. I was like, okay, cool. My opportunity will come when the time is right. I said, I was like, I got a little bit of FOMO here, it's such a big card. Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano trilogy. Like I'd love to be on there. And I just let it go. And then this opportunity popped up and I was like, wow, the stars have aligned.
So some of the fighters competing on this card aren't MVP fighters. They're just signed to fight on this card. Katie obviously being the most notable one. You're now an MVP fighter, right?
I am, yes.
How did this happen?
This happened with, very fortunate that I was with Lou DiBella and he happened to come to a deal with MVP where, he was happy for me to be in a better position to showcase my skills.
So now you're with MVP exclusively, is it fair to say?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So and what a time. I would imagine if you're a women's fighter right now in boxing, you want to be with MVP because of the commitment that they're making to women's boxing, right?
Yes, a commitment they're making to the boxing, and I guess the platform they're providing. So, that's what we all want, just to I guess, showcase our skills and what we're made of and get the recognition we deserve, and they're providing that.
I saw the video that you did with Jake, sort of the announcement video.
Yeah.
They're all very clever. Did you speak to him beforehand?
No, I
Okay.
didn't. It was pretty much get on the phone, Jake's on the phone, and here we go. So I didn't get to speak with him beforehand or plan anything. It just naturally come about.
When he first got into boxing, were some people were like, this guy's a joke, he's making a mockery. Some were like, okay, let's wait and see. Some were very supportive. What do you think compared to what you think he's done now?
I, at the start, was, okay, let's see what he can do. I feel like you can't judge somebody, I guess, off what they've done on social media or anything like that. But now that I can see, he's really going all in, and look at the platform he's providing. So I can't say anything bad about Jake. He's doing great things for boxing, for women's boxing. He's bringing new eyes to the sport. So yeah, we'll see where he goes from here.
It almost feels like, and actually earlier today I got a press release, they've signed Ebony Bridges as well. Did you know about this?
I heard it was on the whispers, but then I
Okay.
just seen as we were coming in that she
Yes.
signed as
Actually,
well.
you two have kind of gone back and forth.
We have, yes, in the past. Like we were supposed to fight years ago for the IBF title down at Super Bantam, one of the two. But for some reason that deal didn't go ahead, and she's gone her journey and I've gone my journey, and then who knows, we might end up
Would you like that?
crossing paths again. I'm open to that if that's what's on the table. I just feel like I want to be the best, and I want to fight who is the best to be the best. So ideally, after this fight, I'm going to be the best in my division. So everyone's going to be chasing me, right?
Sure.
And if I guess everything falls into place, then yeah, it would be a huge fight for Australia. Yeah, I'd be open to that.
It's a crazy turn of events because now you're fighting for undisputed, not just unified title fight, because Dina vacated her 2 belts as well. Did you know that off the bat that was going to happen?
No, so I originally just thought it was going to be for my bout on Shurretta's bout,
Yeah.
and I was wrapped. I was happy to unify, and then when it was for all of the belts, I'm like, okay, wow, this is
deal.
huge. Like, even if after when Dina comes back to fight Dina, that's even a fight that I would have liked either way. So it's a huge opportunity. I'm so blessed to be here and be in this position.
So, there was the controversy with the Nina Hughes fight not that long ago, right? And then you put your exclamation point on it. You
Yes,
put her
we
away.
did.
But I feel like a year ago this time, maybe something like this felt very far away, right? Like a year ago now, could you have imagined that you'd be fighting for undisputed on a stage like this, on a platform like this? Or did it feel like you were so far away from all of this?
I felt like I had maybe a few more years to go to get to that position of fighting for the undisputed. Never did I imagine that it was going to be at Madison Square Garden for the undisputed world title. But it was something I was always chasing to fight for undisputed. And then it just so happens to be at the Mecca of boxing.
On the biggest platform, 300
Yes,
million
huge.
subscribers, available worldwide, all this stuff. Shurretta Metcalf, is she someone that you've been thinking about? Is she someone, she's got a crazy backstory herself, fighting underground fights in Dallas for many years, had a big win at the theater not that long ago. Is she someone that you've been thinking about, that has been on your radar?
Well, when she won the bout of Maya, I was like, I want another bout. She has something that I want, so let's chase that. And after the last fight with Nina, she was one of my options to fight, so we were chasing that fight anyway.
Have you seen her? Have you run into her since you've
No,
been
not
Okay.
yet. Not yet.
So tomorrow will probably be the first time.
Yes.
At the
I believe
face-offs.
So yes, that's going to be fun.
What is the approach when you do the face-offs?
I'm just me. I'm wholeheartedly me. I just show up. I'm in the moment, and I've got a job to do. I'm so focused. I'm so zoned in. I'm not too worried about outside noise or what she brings. I'm focused on myself, and that's the confidence. That's a strong aura about me. So, and I believe I bring all of that.
I've seen on your and there's the announcement right there when they put it out. They're very good on the social media. They're very.
They are. They're all about it. And it's
Yes.
cool to see this week, just the amount of social media exposure that everyone is getting.
Yes. I've seen on your social media you're very into meditation. In fact, I think you even fly out. Is she your
My healer, pretty
your
much.
healer?
Yeah,
Roz?
my mind, body, and soul. Roz, yep.
So when you say healer, what does that mean?
I guess, that's just a term we sort of say for each other because we work in mind, body, and soul massage therapists. So
Okay.
I get treated for my body. We do a lot of mindfulness. We sit, we meditate, we visualize.
Every day.
Throughout camp, yes, every day. Every day we do something, whether it be having sound bowls of an evening, whether it be a guided meditation to walk through how fight night's going to go and how you see yourself winning and the emotions that you feel during that moment. And just a moment to, because this is such a huge platform, like being in front of so many viewers, being here in New York, I feel like the hype can get to everyone and you're sort of off with the fairies, whereas I want to stay grounded. I want to stay true to myself. I want to be focused in on the job, and I feel like you have to be confident in you and yourself to be in that position.
So you fly her out. She stays with you.
Yes.
For the duration of your time in Montreal. Is she here too?
She is here in New York. She didn't get to come to the interview.
No, I don't mean in the studio. I mean, like, did she come to New York with you?
She did, of
Okay.
course. Yep. And she comes to watch all the sparring sessions. She can see, like, she listens to Craig in terms of, okay, Neeks could maybe use this cue or interpret this
Oh, wow.
into her meditation. So she's a big part of my team.
How long have you been working with her?
I've known Roz for 8 years. She was just a body therapist, and then the last 2 years we've been working quite, deeply into the more mindful side of things.
Okay. And when you're meditating, like how long? I'm fascinated by meditation. I don't do it because I don't think that I would have the patience, to be honest, which I think is a bad thing, given our addictions to devices
Phones
and all that stuff. How long do you do it for? Like how long do you actually shut
Honestly,
off?
it doesn't have to be like crazy. Maybe 15, 20 minutes,
Okay.
or even like we do a breath work of a morning and it's like 7 minutes, but you allow that time solely to you.
Okay. And is this like, are you saying anything while you're doing this, or is it just?
It's just, I think, being present in the moment and giving yourself time, whatever thoughts run through your head, or before you start the day, life can be chaotic at times, and you need to really calm down, and you can focus, like I like to focus in on how my day is going to go, or what was I grateful for yesterday, just to be able to reflect.
Yes. Are you the type of person that gets nervous before your fights?
There's always good nerves. I find that if you don't get nerves, you're not really in the zone. But it's nerves where, okay, I'm switched on here. I'm so focused. I'm so dialed in. I know what I need to do. And it's just more so, I think it's the energy. Everyone is a little bit nervous. Such a big stage, fight night, one winner, one loser sort of thing. So, it's good nerves. I love the nerves come fight night.
Because you fought on big stages before, Haney Kambosos. How many people were there? 30, 40, 50,000?
I don't know, to be
It was a
honest,
bit
but there was a lot
massive,
of,
yes.
it was huge.
Right. So, like, being on a big stage, fighting in front of a lot of people, maybe not in America, this is kind of, you've been there.
I've been
This won't
there,
get
yeah.
you on Friday morning.
I feel like I will be used to, I guess, somewhat knowing that there's going to be a lot of eyes on.
Right. I'm trying to see, by the way, where the scar is on your forehead. You can't even see it, huh?
See it?
Oh, there it is.
Maybe in the
Okay.
light.
Yes, now I
Maybe
can
in the
see it.
light.
You cover it a little bit.
Little bit, because if you get sun on it, I find it shows
Okay.
up a little bit red. So I'm
It's
kind
one of
okay.
the more memorable cuts of the last few years.
It was a viral moment for me.
There it
It's
is.
huge. Yeah, look at that.
When you see
Jeez.
that, what do you think?
I think she's a warrior. She's a true fighter. She's a champion.
Yes. I mean, that is an unbelievable shot, but that's kind of a framer if you ask me. And this is the aftermath.
Yeah, look at that. Gee whiz. Could see my skull almost.
Yeah. How much did it hurt to get that sewn up?
I think I was full of adrenaline,
Yeah.
like, because I went straight after the fight. I just didn't even feel it, to be honest. But then a few days later, all the swelling had sort of dropped down and big black eyes. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many stitches?
12.
Okay. Did it ever reopen?
No, thankfully.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I feel like it's in a pretty good spot.
Sort of maybe with my little wrinkles coming up, we can hide it.
I don't mean that. Like, one thing I'm wondering about is Amanda's eye, from the cut, because she's in a spot here
Where it
that
could get open
tends
again.
to open again. And that was a pretty, it was a similar cut, but in a more sort of, I don't know, tender spot
Yep.
of the body.
And a common spot.
Yes,
sort of.
yes, because I saw her yesterday, and it's still a little bit puffy.
Really?
Yes,
Sorry.
like you could kind of tell that something happened there.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if that's something that's good. Where do you fall? And there is the very gruesome. That one, actually, now that I see it side by side,
It's like, oof.
that one might actually be worse than yours.
That definitely looks worse. That's like, yeah, that one like is like, ugh.
Yeah, even for a boxer to say that.
Yes.
Where do you fall in this? Like, it's dirty, it's not dirty. Orthodox southpaw. Her team says that the way Katie fights is dirty, leading with the head. Is that just part of the game, or do you think that there's something to that?
I think that's part of the game. Everyone's got their own little tactics and tricks, and I guess they're going to use what they can to their advantage. I think, a lot of people are like, okay, let's just push it to see what we can get away with, and I think it's just everyone's tactics.
Did you watch both fights?
I did, yes. I was there live for the one in Texas.
You were there live?
I was,
Okay,
yes.
wow.
So it was real
Did
cool
you fly
to
in
watch.
just to go see it?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, wow,
I did.
wow.
And being there up front, it was really cool to watch. But I haven't watched it back yet because I felt like there was a different view from.
Okay. Who did you think won on the night?
I thought Amanda won on the night.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd have to. I feel like watching it on TV and watching it live can be two different.
Who do you back in this third fight?
I'd love for Amanda to get the.
Are you just saying that because you're MVP now?
No,
No.
no, only because it's been such a close fight, both fights,
Right.
and just to have the 2-1, I feel like you always got that hungriness. Okay, it's my turn now. I'm going to win this. So I feel like that's what she's got there.
Have you met her yet?
I've met her in Texas, but I haven't bumped into her yet.
Okay. And just in terms of like fight week and the way that you're being treated and logistics and all that, how is MVP compared to some of the other promoters you've worked for?
It's been great. We've been really well looked after, been very supportive, very accommodating to a lot of my needs, especially being like such a short turnaround to get into the ring. I couldn't fault them.
We had a fighter. There's a fighter named Kai Kara France. Are you familiar with him?
Yes, I do know Kai.
He is,
I knew
you know,
of.
of him.
Yeah.
Okay. He is of, I'm going to butcher this,
Maori
Maori descent, like you.
Yes.
And in the build up to his fight, just a couple of weeks ago, he fought for the belt. Unfortunately, he lost. He was speaking a lot about his heritage, and maybe early on in his life and career, he tried to not showcase it as much, but now he's a lot more comfortable, and there's a few great videos about his background. I'm just wondering if you saw any of that stuff, and even if you didn't, how much does your ancestry, your background mean
I've
to you?
seen a lot of it, and it's very inspiring to see, and it's great to see, just showcasing the Māori culture, and, Māori people are proud. I'm so proud to be of Māori descent and to represent my culture as well. So to see that, on UFC and him openly expressing and sharing and I guess explaining and showing the culture is really cool. And I love to somewhat walk in the same path and be a representative for, our Māori people.
For those that may not know what it means, like how would you describe what the culture is?
The culture is, I guess, Indigenous people of New Zealand. I feel like we're very proud. We show, I guess we show a lot of pride in our culture, as anyone would in their own sort of cultures.
And how old were you when you left New Zealand to move to Australia?
I was 9 when I
Okay.
left.
So do you have more of a connection now to Australia than New Zealand?
New Zealand is always home. I always, remember my roots, where I grew up. But I feel like I am a part of Australia now.
Why did you move?
Just, I think my parents brought us to Australia. I think it was a better lifestyle growing up, and they wanted to be in a better environment.
Okay. And who got you into boxing?
My dad.
Was he a boxer?
He wasn't a boxer, but it was more. He was into fitness, and I wanted to go to the gym when I was like maybe in my, I think I was like 12.
Okay.
So we went to like a local YMCA for a box fit class, and it just grew from there.
Just from that?
Just from that, yep.
Did he try to push you to?
Never pushed me into anything. We did a box fit class, and the trainer there at the time, Philip Holiday, he had his own boxing gym, and I was enjoying it. I was always a bit of a rough tomboy growing up, so I was like, oh yeah, I could get the hang of this. Went down to the boxing gym and sort of just fell in love with it.
So how do you go from like that, just doing it for fun, to actually like probably getting an amateur fight, maybe a smoker or something like that, and like working your way up to becoming a pro? How does that happen?
A lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, a lot of commitment. I competed for Australia in the amateurs at a few world championships, was trialing for the Commonwealth Games. Wasn't successful with that. Started a pro career, and then I just enjoyed it. I loved, traveling. I loved the training. I loved the person it created and the characters, characteristics that I gained from being so dedicated to boxing. And just hard work. I was so dialed in. I was so zoned in. People said, oh, you're not going to make a career from boxing. Oh, why are you doing boxing? What are you going to do? Like, where's that going to take you? And I was just like, I make my own choices, and this is what I want to do. And I just chased it.
Did you ever doubt? Did you ever think that they were, maybe they are right. Maybe nothing is going to come of this. Maybe I'm spending too much time at this.
There was always times where I thought, maybe I should do something else. But I was like, if I'm going to be good, I have to go 100% in. And I did that. I went all in. I focused, and I was like, no, this is what I'm going to do. And I went for it.
Did your parents support it?
Very much so, yes.
Do they come to all the fights?
Not to all of the fights, but to majority of the fights.
Will they be at this one?
No, unfortunately not. My mum would love to be here. Okay. Because it was such short notice. I think it was with work commitments and things like that, but they'll be at the next one.
Can I ask about your brother? I'm sorry about what happened to him. This was back in 2023? Mm-hmm. Your brother was murdered. He was. Could you tell us about it?
Very tragic. It's... I think it was like going down the tracks of gang related.
Okay.
It was a big shock to our family. He had actually just not long gotten out of jail and had plans to change his life around. And unfortunately, there's some cruel people in this world.
How old was he when he passed?
22.
Were you close?
We were close when we were younger. As he got through his adult life, we weren't as close just because of the path that we were on. I love my brother, and I was happy. You do what you do, I do what I do, but I didn't want to be involved in the lifestyle.
Okay. Were you ever tempted or pulled into that direction and chose not like to go down a path of,
No, I felt like I had started boxing before, I guess, anything sort of had shown signs or anything like that. And I was so dialed in already at such a young age. I'd moved out of home quite young. So I wasn't interested or, I guess, tempted to go down that path.
And you fought shortly after he passed, right?
I did, yes, and I took it on because we had planned the fight was going to be the first one that he was going to come to watch live.
So you had kind of reconnected with him.
Yeah, and I was like, he would have wanted me to fight.
Wow.
And so I dedicated that whole fight to him.
And how difficult was that?
It was very difficult just to, I guess, speaking on I guess the mind and being confident not confident, but just mentally being prepared to go through emotions and thoughts and feelings, to be mentally prepared.
Did they ever find the people who killed him?
They did, but still things are up at court at the moment, and we hopefully will have some justice soon.
And it's been a few years.
Few years, yeah.
20
They're taking their time, that's for
Yeah.
sure, when everything is
Was it
all on
2022
CCTV.
or 2023?
2022?
Okay, yeah. So 3 years and still no resolution. Golly.
Yep.
Is this sort of hanging over your, like, do you just want a resolution so you guys can move on?
You know, I feel like our family, we're just waiting for, I guess, for some justice
Yes.
to be made.
Is this common in Australia? Does it take this long, to the best
To
of
be
your
honest,
knowledge?
I'm not too sure. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It's always, okay, court hearing. So we will, when we know, I guess we'll know, hopefully soon.
Okay. How much do you think about these things when you, like, because sometimes I've heard about when fighters are cutting weight, like everything kind of gets stripped away and you start to think about your own life and
Thoughts and
yes,
demons.
it gets deep sometimes. It could get dark. Are you that type of person as well? Does the mind start to wander?
I feel like for me, I am so dialed in on trying to have, positive thoughts, positive people around me. Any negativity that comes about or crosses my mind, I really work hard on. Okay, we're not in the right time right now to be having those thoughts. Like, let's cut it out right now. It can come back another time. So I feel like I'm pretty good mentally just to be like, okay, I'm in the zone and that's all that matters.
This is the read that I'm getting. Dialed in. You've said that word a few times.
Dialed in. I'm so dialed in.
Unflappable, unbreakable. Like nothing's gonna.
Pretty much. Like, I'm so focused. Like, I guess if for whatever something crazy was to happen, I'll be like, I've got a job to do. This is why I'm here. I've got a job to do.
If the whole place is on fire, but the ring is still good, you're just walking in there. You wouldn't even
let's
notice.
go. Come on, I'm
fine.
ready.
Like that
I'm
meme
ready.
of the dog just sitting there. Like all is good.
All is good.
Always been like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Incredible. Good on you. I mean, I
you.
guess this is fight week. You should be like this, and the
Yes.
fight is literally.
And
3
this is
days away.
huge. Like, this is a moment to make history. And
You feel like this is the culmination of everything.
Yes.
This moment.
Yes.
That's a lot of pressure to
Yep.
put on yourself.
I don't want to put pressure on myself. I don't need to put pressure on myself. I've done the work. I'm confident in myself. I'm confident in my team. I'm confident in my abilities. I don't have any pressure.
Well done. Well said. Sometimes people say that. Like I'll say that to myself, but I don't actually believe it.
I believe it.
Okay.
I
Yes.
believe
That's the
it. I
difference between a
feel
high-level
it.
athlete and just regular
Yeah.
guy sitting here. How do you see it going?
The fight?
Yeah. What do you think?
I don't think it's going to the end of the fight.
Okay.
I don't see it going to the end, and all I see is those belts around my waist.
Wow.
That's what I see.
All of them.
All of them.
What a moment at MSG.
Yep.
Actually, I saw. I read a thing. I don't know if you saw this or knew this as well, but I took a picture of it because I wanted to remember it for this moment. There have not been many New Zealand boxers. I know you also represent Australia who have fought at Madison Square Garden. Do you know who the last one was?
The last one.
Rel-
Female?
yes.
Um,
Fought Michaela Mayer in 2018. Baby Nansen.
Baby Nansen.
That was the last one. And then before that, the last New Zealander to fight at MSG was Callie Meehan when he knocked out DeVarrell Williamson back in 2007. So there haven't been a lot of you in the last 25 years.
I'm the third lucky one
You're the
now.
third one. And you're fighting for undisputed gold.
I'm going to win it.
Can't wait. Very excited for you. It's
Thank you.
amazing to see you get this opportunity. I know you've been through so much, and now that you're a part of MVP, I'm really curious to see where they take you, because I know you guys have been sort of eyeing each other from afar for a long time. But there it is, 3 days away.
3 days.
Cherneka Johnson, Sugar Neeks, one of the great nicknames.
Thank you.
She has a great name too, Shurretta Metcalf. She has a great
Chicken?
yeah,
Chicken?
but it's like not spelled chicken.
No.
It's-
I'd be curious to know where it comes from.
You're gonna ask her.
I might.
I have to ask you guys a bunch of questions. So if you want to like help me with the questions at the presser, that would be good.
That's a question from me. Where
There it
does
is.
the nickname
I'm
come
gonna
from?
I'm gonna tee you up, and you're gonna ask her.
Okay, done.
Deal. It's a deal. There she is, Sugar Neeks, the pride of both New Zealand and Australia, fighting this Friday at Madison Square Garden on the undercard, of course, of the big Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano 3 card on July 12th in Queens. Huge weekend for boxing. You go to that card too. There's a fight in Queens.
The night
Shakur
after?
Stevenson, yeah.
I believe so.
Shakur Stevenson is headlining alongside Hamza Shiraz and Edgar Berlanga. Shakur is going to be joining us in studio. He's here too.
Might bump into him.
You might bump into him. All right. We'll say goodbye to Cherneka, and then we'll say hello to Shakur Stevenson. Don't go anywhere.
This is awesome.
Yes, it is cool.
Yeah,
we could play a little poker in between.
Oh, I don't.
Neither do I. I just like to say that because it looks like we're in a poker studio here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You still got the braids?
I do.
Do you usually keep them in?
I don't. I normally take them off literally the same night.
Okay.
But my girl, she got down.
She killed it with
She
the
got-
hearts on the
yeah,
side.
you
How long
know?
does that take, by the way?
She's so fast. Her
Like, what does
name's
that
Mimi.
mean?
She's from LA. But she's so fast. I mean, she came in. She was at my Airbnb, I want to say like around 10, and she was done before 11.
Less than an hour?
Yeah.
To do all that?
She's so fast. She's so good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you look good and you fought good.
Thank you.
Are you happy? Because I felt maybe a little bit like you were a little bit disappointed in the immediate aftermath.
I was.
Why?
It's just not the way I wanted to win.
Okay.
I wanted to finish.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to set a statement, but I was just listening to my coaches, my cornermen. They're like, the game plan was to be patient.
Okay.
With her, be patient because she was fast, she's explosive. So I just stuck to the game plan.
She's tough. She's a veteran. Was she tougher than you thought?
No. She was. It was exactly how I thought the fight was gonna go.
Okay.
To be honest, yeah.
So then you can't be that disappointed.
Yeah. I mean, a little bit.
Okay.
A little bit. I'm my worst critic.
Yeah. But it was dominant. It wasn't close, really.
Thank you.
And finishes aren't always going to come. You should be happy. You had been away for quite some time. I couldn't believe this. You said obviously you had never fought on an International Fight Week card. That's clear. You could look at the resume. But you never attended one as well?
Yeah.
That shocks me.
Yeah.
Why not?
I don't know.
You were never invited. You were never like a guest fighter.
I'm really low key. Like
You don't
I'm low
usually
key.
like to
I
go-
don't unless it's like Noche or a Mexico card where I could, gift like my tias, my aunts and uncles to experience what it,
Yes.
because they don't know what I do. They just know I fight.
Okay.
They don't know
All
to the
this.
level. Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't know everything that goes behind it. They're like, oh, she just fought, she won.
Do they even watch?
And they do watch.
Okay.
They do, but I don't think they could understand because they're just old style. They're like just typical. I call her my little tia, mi tia pequeña. She's like traditional, like rancho. She doesn't get the lights, the cameras.
Yeah.
To her, I'm just her baby.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not Cortez MMA
Superstar.
So, yeah.
and so you won't go if you're not there for a reason. You won't be like a guest fighter or something like that. But now that you got to be a part of it,
Yeah.
did it feel different? Did it feel special? This is one of the bigger cards of the year, and it ended up being maybe the best card of the year. Did it feel like a bigger deal?
Oh man, I can get the chills just thinking about it. Yeah, it was huge. It was such an experience. It was so crazy. I mean, compared to like a normal fight week, this was just intense. Like you could just feel the energy.
The amount of people at the weigh-ins and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I saw you saying in the post-fight press conference that you were hounding your manager, saying like, "Get me a fight, get me a fight." You were ready to go as of January or so.
Yeah.
But it all worked out.
Everything worked out great. God's plan. It was this past Saturday, if that was when I was meant to fight, then that's when I was meant to fight.
So your last fight was in January. No, in July. You wanted to fight in January. You fought Rose. Okay, that was my conversation with Tracy Cortez back on Monday of last week. That was Cherneka Johnson, who's fighting this Friday. It's an unbelievable card. Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano. Alicia Baumgartner against Jennifer Miranda. Savannah Marshall against Shadeja Green. Ellie Scottney, who actually has fought and has a win over Cherneka Johnson, also fighting against Yamileth Mercado. Tam Thibault, the Canadian Olympian, fighting on the card as well. We've got Chantel Cameron, who's now a member of MVP on the card. I mean, it really is a who's who. As I said, Guinness recognizing it as the most, what's the word I'm looking for? The most, I don't want to say star-studded, but the most amount of belts being contested on one singular boxing card. Now, they're saying 17. It's actually 21 as far as the ring belts are concerned. I'm not sure why those aren't being recognized, but 17, 21, all pretty incredible, spanning 5 fights, 8 fights total. The main card is at 8. The prelims are at, I think, 5. if my memory serves me correct. And the prelims will air on the Most Valuable Promotions and Netflix YouTube channel. Now, July 12th, like I said, New York is the epicenter of boxing and, dare I say, combat sports this week. And there's a UFC event in Nashville, but these are two star-studded events. You have Ring 3 at Louis Armstrong Stadium on the Ariel Helwani program at 5 o'clock on DAZN and the DAZN YouTube channel. We're going to have Edgar Berlanga join us in studio here. I mean, look at this. Look at this who's who. I'm making the boys work back there. From Petesy Carroll to Craig Jones to Cherneka Johnson to Edgar later, but in a matter of seconds, unless he's here. Is he there or no? Okay. In a matter of seconds, we're going to be joined by one of the biggest names in the sport of boxing, Shakur Stevenson, the pride of Brick City, the pride of Newark, New Jersey, the current WBC lightweight champion, the former WBC, WBO, and Ring Super Featherweight champion, former WBO featherweight champion as well. This man has been all over the world and even won an Olympic silver medal back in 2016, devastated by the fact that he did not win the gold, but silver medal in 2016 in Rio, not too bad. We last saw him in February in Riyadh. He was supposed to fight Floyd Schofield, a.k.a. Kid Austin. In the end, he fought Josh Padley and beat Josh Padley, who replaced Schofield on just days' notice after Schofield got sick and pulled out of the fight. There were rumors that that something nefarious happened. Who the hell knows? He came back and looked great against Tevin Farmer just a couple of weeks ago. That card in Anaheim, the co-promotion between MVP and Golden Boy. I got to do the mouth thing here real quick. 3, 2. Oh, that felt good. That felt good, Frankie. That was a 43-year-old.
Meters jump up all of it.
That was a 43-year-old jaw crack. In any event, he's returning this Saturday, fighting the undefeated 33-0 WBC interim lightweight champion William Zepeda. They've been circling each other for quite some time. They're going to get it on in the co-feature. I'm a little surprised that it's not the main event, but who the hell cares? It's an absolute pleasure. It's an absolute honor to be joined by the one and only Shakur Stevenson. Is he actually here? I don't believe it. Holy shit, Shakur Stevenson is here. This is a superstar right here. How are you, my friend? How you doing? It's good to see you. Let's hug it out. Let's hug it. Oh my God. I can't believe you're actually here. I got to tell you, you're one of my favorite guys to listen to these days. The no fucks given Shakur Stevenson right now is as entertaining as it gets. You're unbelievable these days, man. You're on fire.
Yeah, I've been very focused for this fight. Honestly, I'm just here to make a statement. Like it's show and tell for me. So I'm gonna show my talents, and the world gonna get to see a different version of me.
Man, I feel like I can actually see the chip on your shoulder. Like I could see it. It's that big. But what's going on? Okay, so there's a lot to talk to you about. You have this huge fight. What is happening with all these tweets, though? That's the thing I don't understand. Are they messing with you? Is this all part of a grand plan? What's going on with the ring size, with the Tom and Jerry? What is going on here? Are you a part of this?
Oh, I'm not a part of it.
You're not a part of it?
No. But I mean, honestly, I look at it this way. I feel like for somebody that big to be trolling me and he never done this to a fighter before, it let me know how great I am. I'm on his mind, and that means Turkey cares a lot about me. So I look at it.
Every fifth tweet is some sort of I feel like a subtle dig at you, or maybe not so subtle.
Yeah, I don't look at it that way.
Okay,
for him to sit there and do that to me makes me just feel as though that I'm that high up. So I appreciate him for showing me that much love and attention.
I saw a picture. You were with him yesterday.
Yeah.
Was that yesterday, that picture?
Yes.
There it is. There you guys are. What was the meeting like?
It was cool. It's always good vibes when I'm around him, man. Once again, I appreciate him for giving me this opportunity because I've been trying to make this Zepeda fight for 2 to 3 years now. So the opportunity that he gave me, it gives me a platform to show how great I am.
At any point you say yo, what's up with the tweets, man, with the pictures? And
I ain't even talked to him. I don't care that much about it. The world kind of cares more about it than how I care about it, but I don't care about it.
Okay, so it was just good vibes. Was it a long meeting?
No, it was probably 25 minutes.
Okay.
Just talking and, I can't even tell everything.
I appreciate it. No, I get that. Is your deal with Riyadh? Do you have a deal with Riyadh, or are you?
Yeah, I kind of got a deal with Riyadh too, but after this fight, I'm kind of free to do whatever I want. But if he's going to continue to make the biggest and most competitive and best fights out there, I definitely don't mind doing it again.
So this was something that came up a month or so ago, that you had one fight left on your Matchroom deal, and that you're going to be a free agent after this. You're not going to re-sign with them.
I don't know what the future holds. Once again, a lot of people make these rumors and say bad things, but I'm actually an Eddie Hearn fan. I actually got a great relationship with Eddie. I can't tell you what I'm gonna do. Business is business, so it depends on whatever the situation approaches. But at the end of the day, Eddie Hearn is a great promoter. I don't got nothing bad to say about him, and I appreciate him.
Have you been happy? I know you only had one fight technically under the Matchroom umbrella. Have you been happy with them?
Here's what I'm happy about. They did something that was very good in my last fight. I pointed out that I don't think Floyd Schofield was going to show up to fight me. I told Eddie that way before the fight even, before we got to that night. He ended up pulling what he pulled. We was 2 steps ahead, and Eddie Hearn kind of already had a replacement ready to fight. So I appreciate him for allowing me still to make that payday, and also bringing somebody to bring a fight for me. So
why didn't you think Schofield was going to show up? And how long before the fight? Obviously, it happened on fight week, but when were you starting to think that this wasn't going to go down?
When they signed.
Really?
When they signed, I knew. I'm like, I don't believe that these guys really want to fight me. To have that kid right now just lose at this level is not a simple thing. I don't think people just think it's that simple. So for him to even sign, I was kind of shocked about it. But as he didn't show up for the press conference, I knew right then and there. I said, "Oh yeah, it's over.
Wow,
he's not gonna fight me."
So what do you think actually happened? There was this thing that was put out that he got sick. Do you believe any of that?
I can't. If he didn't lie so much, if he didn't go to the media and say all of these things, I may have gave him the benefit of the doubt in the situation. But he lied so many times to where I know him as a liar.
Okay.
So since I know you as a liar, no, I don't believe that you got sick. I know that the British control pulled them, but they can pull anybody if you act like you're sick or if you act like you're any type of in danger. You getting ready for a fight. Nobody want to send a guy in the ring that's sick. So
do you think the problem was him or his dad?
I think his dad played the part. I mean, if he talking about somebody poisoning him, it may have been his dad. So he better go
just to get him out of the fight.
Yeah, he better go. He better go check in with his dad.
Yeah, but what about that perforance against Farmer? That was impressive,
that was good.
right?
That was good.
Were you expecting that?
No, I didn't expect that. I'll give him his credit on that fight. It was good. I felt like Tevin Farmer kind of got too big-headed. If you watched him leading up to the fight, I have never saw Tevin Farmer talk the way that he was talking leading up to the fight. So I think he kind of got big-headed, and when he went in there, he kind of treated it like it was a sparring session. But at the end of the day, these young fighters is hungry too, and you got to also respect them with power, skills, and they going to come in and try to win these fights. So you got to give him that respect, and I don't think Tevin gave him that respect.
I have to say, a lot has been said about Floyd and his dad. I was lucky enough to be in the ring interviewing him afterwards. He was very emotional. He seems like a great kid. That was my first time meeting him. I felt bad for him. It seemed like he had been through a lot. He said he even considered quitting boxing because of all the hate that he received after the fight week incident with you. And I don't know if you saw any of that, but did you feel bad for him at all?
Like I said, when them people lie as much as they do, if you're a liar, you could be acting too. So
okay.
I'm not buying
So
into the acting skills.
No.
Nah, I didn't. Good job for the performance. You put on a hell of a performance, but at the end of the day, I'm not buying that shit.
They did mention you. They mentioned, I believe who else did they mention? They mentioned a couple of people, but your name did come up. Are you interested in running this one back?
I told people I would still fight him. I even told him when I seen his dad in the elevator when we was in Saudi, and I knew that they was about to pull out. I knew it. I had a feeling.
This is before?
I knew that they was going to pull out. I swear to God. I seen him in the elevator, and I told him, well, one day I'm going to whoop your son's ass. And I stand by that. I do want to continue to fight him, but I also feel as though it should be penalties. Like, you can't go slander somebody's name and just say all of these lying things that's not true at all. You don't got no facts, no proof or nothing, and just get away with it. So I feel like in the contract, it got to be something to where, like, that can't happen. Like, we got to get rid of that.
Did they slander you?
Yeah, they slandered me. They said that I sent guys to his house to slash his tires.
Damn.
I stole his passport. I don't even know where these guys live at, so it's kind of crazy.
They said that you stole his passport. I remember that whole passport
They said
thing.
I sent somebody to steal his passport. I sent somebody to slash his tires. When he got sick in Saudi, I sent somebody to poison him to get sick in Saudi. So, honestly, I'm not. I don't appreciate that.
Yeah, no.
You don't do business with people like
I would
that.
imagine. Do you think he's on your level?
Come on.
I mean, you were matched up against him.
I mean, no. That's the thing that people don't know too.
Okay.
I made that fight happen. people didn't want that fight to happen. The higher ups, the people who they like, no, that's a shit fight. This guy is not good. We don't want to see this fight. But I made that fight happen based off of all the shit that he was talking online. So being that he was talking online, all that shit, I wanted to make him fight me. But as far as being on my level, dog, he's a tough kid. There's levels to this shit, though. There's levels. I'm very high up compared to him.
Zepeda's coming off of 2 hotly contested fights against Farmer, but then you see how Farmer fought against him. You can't really do that sort of math, right?
Styles make fights. At the end of the day, because a lot of fans want to say that. They're like, oh, well, he got him out of there in 1 round. Zepeda went 12. But by their same logic, y'all will be saying that I will destroy a Tank, right? Because Lamont Roach went in there and fought with Tank, and it was a back and forth fight. But Jamel Herring beat Lamont Roach. Now, if we recall, I fought Jamel Herring, and I annihilated Jamel Herring. No disrespect to him. That's one of my guys. But by their logic, if they go by, oh, well, he did this to that guy, and none of that matters when you in front of a certain style. So styles make fights. I don't look at it like, I'm going to crush Tank because Lamont did that to him. It's 2 different styles. So honestly, I don't even with that situation, I don't look at it that way. Because Zepeda may go in there with Kid Austin and stop him.
So you're no stranger to big fights or big stages, platforms, but considering you're entering free agency to a degree, and considering all the stuff that's happened over the last, couple of years, do you feel more pressure going into this fight?
I don't think about the pressure. The pressure it is what it is. It's going to be a bunch of fans there. It's going to be the whole world watching. That happens. But at the end of the day, if you trust in your training and what you done in the gym, all that matters is what you do in the ring that night. So it's going to be me and Zepeda right there. I'm not worried about nothing that goes on outside of that.
So what do you think the turning point for Shakur was? Because I remember like those fights, those top-ranked fights in New Jersey at the Prudential Center, like you were the man, right? They put you on that Vegas card, that the Thursday night card, right? Like you were one of the showcase guys on ESPN. And now I just feel like I'm a pro wrestling guy too. The word heel, like you've kind of become a heel and you don't really care, but you don't do anything that's heel-like. Yeah. Like you don't get in trouble, you don't do things, but like it just feels like, I don't know, maybe the more you interact with people online, the more it comes. I don't know what it is. What do you think?
Part of it is, the way that I talk on social media. I talk a lot of shit at times. So I don't mind like saying what's on my mind at the moment. But people charge me to that, cool. But also, I also feel like it's a lot of new fans to where they didn't know who I was. So now they just getting to know me. So most of the time you hear a lot of these new people who never watched me before, but they just started watching me right after the Bud Crawford fight before Errol Spence, and they seen me right there. That's when people started kind of paying attention to me a little bit more. So for me, I think it's just new fans, and when you get new fans, they don't know the history and know how great you are already. So you just gotta get past them.
It doesn't weigh on you. It doesn't say like I'm going to show these guys. I was in the freaking 2016 Olympic Games. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's crazy. Like that's a long ass time.
Sure.
We're approaching 10 years.
For sure.
So like that doesn't annoy you?
No, it don't annoy me because at the end of the day, I look at the entire situation. So I'm not looking at what happened over the last year. I'm looking at my entire career, and being that I done dominated for all this time and I'm still here. I'm still undefeated. It's a lot of guys I came up with they got L's on their record. They got knocked out. These guys wish that they still in my position. So it's like for me to still be here lets me know that I got a lot of longevity. I started my pro career at 19 and I'm still here.
So it's interesting because right now the business of boxing has never been better in the sense of like the paydays are gigantic. You've got, obviously Turkey involved, Netflix is involved, all these great things. But we've had a couple of cards, especially as of late, that have sort of fallen flat. I know you talked about the Times Square card. You were there. Yeah. I have a theory about this, and I want to know if you agree to a degree. Like even yesterday, they announced this Ring 4 card, right? And that's in November, and Bam Rodriguez is on there. But Bam Rodriguez has a fight coming up in a week or so, and I think that sometimes when they announce these fights before the next one comes, a Haney fight. Well, but also what happens is like, hey, I don't want to do anything to get hurt. I don't want to do anything to get knocked out. So let me just almost have like a glorified sparring match. And I think that's what the Haney fight was at Times Square, because he knew, hey, if I just win this fight, I'll make it to the Ryan fight. Unfortunately, Ryan lost his fight, so maybe that whole thing has gone up in smoke now. But I feel like because, another example, Canelo's skull. Why would Canelo take any type of risk if he knows that there's already a Crawford fight set for September?
Yeah.
This is a tricky thing, no?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you because they looking for the future, but like specifically with the Haney fight, and I hate to be, cause I'm a realist. I'm not like no guy that's gonna just cause I don't like you, I'm gonna say something bad about you. But with the Haney fight, I felt as though a lot of people talked a lot of smack about them when they fought Ryan Garcia, and they talked about him standing there and not sitting there and not sitting there and trading and moving and stuff. They wanted him to move and use his boxing skills. When he did that, they talked shit. So then the next time he did it with Jose Ramirez, he boxed and moved, stayed out of harm's way. They still talk shit. So it's like for him, it's like a damn if you do, damn if you don't kind of thing. And I feel as though that night, I'm not gonna fully blame him because I feel as though Jose Ramirez should have been able to try to bring a little bit more action too. We can't just put all the blame on Devin Haney. It got to be both parts. So with the Canelo score, I think styles make fights. I think certain styles you get in front of, and that dude just moving the entire time. Canelo don't have the fastest feet, so for him to catch that guy wasn't gonna be easy. And I think it's just styles make fight. I don't think people is purposely doing it. I think that it just sometimes if you match a guy up against the wrong style, that's what you can get.
As you know, Floyd made a whole career out of not getting hit, right? And he's one of the highest paid boxers of all time, if not the highest.
Yes.
And so what's the difference between that and what you do? You don't get hit?
I mean, that's the thing, too. A lot of people don't even realize. Actually, me and Floyd is similar, but we a lot different. We similar in a thinking way, but, like, our styles are different. But, like, for me, I feel as though some nights I'm in that pocket and people not even paying attention to it. And the part that makes them frustrated the most is I'm in the pocket and I'm not getting hit. And they don't like it. They want me to get hit. They want to see me take some type of punishment and show some type of adversity. But at the end of the day, if I can make it easy on myself and I don't got to go to the hospital after the fight and I don't have brain damage and talking funny, I'm good with that, dog.
That's the thing. But we glorify Gotti Ward, right?
Yes.
Gotti Ward is what the people want. So how do you balance the two? Because you are in the prize fighting business.
Yes.
It's entertainment.
Yes.
It's box office. So how do you balance not wanting to go to the hospital, but also being one of those fan favorites?
You got to just let your hands go. I think that's the main thing. Letting your hands go and throwing your hands a lot will put on an exciting show. But if that's a sacrifice for defense, I wouldn't do that. So
Was there a point where you weren't doing, like the last couple of top rank fights?
Yeah.
Were you not letting your hands go?
I think in that Artem fight, I didn't let my hands go enough. It was spots that I let my hands go, but in that Artem fight, I could have let my hands go a little bit more. But it was a tricky style, I guess, in front of me that I had to figure out. And boxing is boxing. You know, every night not going to be a Jamel Herring type of night.
Sure.
So I just feel as though with fans, they got to be more realistic with us. Like, you got to also understand, Jordan don't come in every night and score 40. Some nights he put up low numbers, and when he put them low numbers up, the next night he put up 40, and y'all happy again. But it's like we should get the same benefit of the doubt.
It's a tough thing because like a guy like Tim Duncan, he wasn't like the flashiest guy, but he was a champion.
Efficient.
But in boxing it's different because it's all eyes on you, and you're getting paid, and people are buying pay-per-views or whatever, and so they want to be very critical, and ultimately they'll love you even if you get into like a brawl or get into a war.
Yeah.
But you don't want that, right? The whole point of your training is to not get hit.
The thing is, I'm not trying to get into a war where it's back and forth. So if we in a war and we in a pocket and I'm the one that's landing the right shots, I'm cool with that. But if we in a pocket and going to war and it's like you hitting me, I'm hitting you, I'm not into that. I'm not trying to get hit all night. And once again, all that it's backlash that come with it. And them guys not coming to the hospital with me. So
ultimately, it doesn't really matter, but I'm just wondering, I was surprised you weren't the main event. In fact, I kept calling you the main event. And then I was like, oh shit, he's not the main event.
Yeah, I should have been the main event. I know this.
Why aren't you the main event?
I mean, the higher powers, they go behind closed doors and do whatever they do.
You versus Zepeda is a higher ranked fight with greater stakes than Berlanga versus Shares. With all due respect to them.
And we also got a belt on the line.
Yes.
Yeah.
The WBC, like this is a big deal.
Yeah, for sure. At the end of the day, I don't have no control over it. So I focus on my job. Edgar, that's my brother.
You guys go way back.
Yeah, I'm going to go cheer him on right after the fight because that's my brother at the end of the day. But truthfully, yeah, I feel like I should have been the main event, but it didn't happen. I'm just focused on my job.
Are you bothered by this?
Nah, hell no. I mean, at first I kind of was, but you got to be able to control the controllables. And if it's out of your control, you can't do nothing about it. So at the end of the day, you can hear all the smack that people going to talk and they going to downplay you, but you just got to stay strong mentally and be well prepared to put on the show that night.
You and Zepeda have been talking about each other for a bit now.
Yeah.
Year or so, if not more. Why hasn't it happened before? What took so long?
Man, it was more Golden Boy.
You think
I'm
so?
not going to throw Zepeda under the bus because I know Zepeda is a fighter and he'll fight anybody. Clearly, he'll fight me because he signed up to fight me. So I think it was Golden Boy. Golden Boy is very smart, and they kind of played it in a strategic way. If you watch Zepeda last 5 fights, he fought against, I want to say, 5 southpaws in a row. So they was building him up to get ready for me. And for them, I kind of commend them for that.
Okay. What do you think of Oscar?
I think he's good. I don't have no problem with Oscar. Only thing that I be having a problem with is when he trip out and posted them videos and
Yeah.
like he just doing too much. Like he be tripping.
Well, when he's wearing like the little
like that ain't
stuff.
it.
Yeah.
That ain't it.
He
I
calls
ain't
it
gonna lie.
the predictions.
Yeah, but that's crazy. Like, bro, you are trolling in
I know. He's also Oscar De La Hoya Olympic gold medalist, one of the greatest fighters of all time.
Yeah. I'm a fan of his boxing too. I came up watching De La Hoya. So
maybe you'll sign with Golden Boy after this.
I don't know.
No, it's
you
not
know,
crazy.
you don't know what the
That's
future holds. You know what I like about De La Hoya though? He's a left-handed orthodox fighter. So he's not a really right-handed orthodox fighter.
Right.
So it's kind of like similar to me, and I kind of like that.
Just curious, like you see like all the stuff going on right now in boxing, like all the drama. Do you think this is good between the promoters? Do you think all this is good, or does it get annoying for you?
You know, I'm just the guy that just like to do my job. Honestly, I think it's good for boxing in a way because they trying to make boxing like WWE.
Yeah.
And I get it, you know, I get more fans in tune with it. So it's cool, but like to me, I kind of try to stay in my little lane and keep doing what I'm doing.
WWE, they're coming into the boxing world.
Yeah.
Your guy Terrence is a part of their big show. I was thinking like you'd be the perfect guy for them for this Zuffa boxing.
Yeah.
Because they're looking for young stars, but you know maybe not people who are so up there in age. You're still so young. Have you looked at what they're doing? Have you talked to them? Have there been any sort of feeling out process between them?
Nah, we never talk, but at the end of the day, I'm willing to work with any and everybody, long as it makes sense. So I'm a businessman. If they want to bring me to the table and pitch me, whatever, I'm down with that. But yeah, for them to come into the business is big because WWE been around for so long and they know
It's
what they
WWE and UFC. Dana White involved. What do you think of that?
Only thing with Dana, I like Dana. You know, Dana is a great guy. I actually never really got a chance to meet him, but I kind of watch everything he says and does. So I'm a studier, but the only thing that I say, just pay me, man.
Yeah,
Pay
okay.
me. I'm not trying to get a pay cut. I know these guys are trying to bring the pays back down.
Yeah.
I'm not with that.
Okay, yeah. You're not going to fight for like 50 and 50.
50 and 50, what you mean?
Like that, like a 50K and 50K.
No, hell no. Fuck no. You can't give somebody a certain amount of money and then bring them back.
Of course. They have like a show and win model over there. You know what that is? Like some guys will get like 50. When I say 50 and 50, it's like, all right, you'll get 50 to step foot in the cage. And then if you win, you get another 50. But if you lose the fight by knockout, by submission, even if the judges scored against you, you're only getting half your purse.
I disagree with that.
Yeah, it's wild, right?
Yeah, I disagree with that just because guys, you want guys all to fight these fights where it's 50-50 fights. If you want them to get in the ring, if you tell them that they're not going to make a certain amount of money if they don't win the fight, they're not going to get in the ring. It's going to create chaos and people not going to fight each other. So,
do you watch MMA?
Nah, I don't watch it. I actually watched Khabib versus Conor McGregor though.
That was it?
Yeah, he's a
that was
killer.
that was like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
That's the last fight you watched?
Yeah, I don't watch.
Why? Just not interested?
Yeah, I'm not interested just because of the fact that they kind of throw elbows, kicks, knees.
You're not down with that?
Yeah, I ain't with all that.
Terrence is actually a great wrestler.
Yeah,
Have you ever seen his takedown defense? It's impressive.
I done been in a room with Terrence actually wrestling against real wrestlers. Like
wow.
When I was staying at the OTC, it was a USA wrestling team. One of the guys was his room was right across my room, and actually him and Bud is actually close. But I actually watched them wrestle for like 30 minutes straight, and I'm like, yo, Bud is crazy.
He knows his stuff.
Yeah, he's nice.
Did you try?
I will. I want to.
Okay.
I know wrestling is hard though.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it's good. It's good for like your hips,
Yeah.
foot move. It's a little bit different than what you guys do, but it actually, to me, when you see how he fights and switches stances so easily, it actually makes a lot of sense because an orthodox wrestler actually has his right foot forward. You know, like if I'm orthodox,
so he will be a southpaw.
yeah, exactly. So that's why he's comfortable, I think, going back and forth
Yeah.
because of his wrestling background. I think I've never asked him this,
Yeah.
but that's my theory.
Yeah, for sure. And also, you see him sometimes in the clinch. You ever pay attention to Bud? He's kind of smart. Like, it's little subtle things he do. I was watching his fight with Errol Spence, and when they got in the clinch, it's like he closed this whole side off and leaned his body all on Errol Spence. I thought that was a hell of a move because Errol Spence didn't have no punch to throw.
Yes.
It was a defensive move. So
I know he's your guy, but him jumping up to 168, how do you think he does?
I think if anybody could do it, it's Bud Crawford.
You like his chances?
I've been watching this dude for years. I think he's a superhero.
Yes.
He's not a human being.
I think he wins.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
actually
he
going on the
wins,
record.
yeah.
I think he wins.
Yeah. Like I said, I think he can outbox Canelo, fight the smart fight, fight the perfect fight for him to win. So I can't wait to watch it.
Do you think there's any chance you're on there?
I don't know. I don't think
Too
so.
soon?
Yeah, because July. Yeah, nah.
2 months?
Yeah, it's definitely
That's too
not.
quick of a turnaround? Those are the old days when you would come back like
I
2 months later.
would, but I'll be having a lot of hand problems, so I gotta get
Okay.
my hands time.
How is your hand? Because
They
I know
good.
you broke it like around October or so, or maybe September. You were supposed to be on that October card.
What was it? September? It might have been September.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how is it now?
It's good. I'm ready.
How was it after the
Surgery?
well, surgery and then the Padley fight? Like when you got to actually use it in a fight, how was
No,
it
it's
in the
crazy.
aftermath?
In a Padley fight, it was my opposite hand that was kind of hurt.
Oh wow.
It wasn't even the hand. Well, the other one, it was swollen.
Okay.
But the hand that wasn't swollen was the one that was hurting the most.
Okay.
But my hands is good. You know, I gotta live with that. I gotta get them stronger and stronger every day, and just put a lot of energy and time into them. So
These are some of the highlights from the Padley fight. Did you feel like you had to stop him because he took it on short notice?
I knew I had to stop him just because I felt like he wasn't on my level.
Okay.
And that's no disrespect to Padley because I feel like he's a good fighter and he's a lot better than people give him credit for. But I felt like I had to stop him because of the fact that it was levels.
You're kind of like cool after, right? Like I think you trained with him, right?
Nah, I never trained with him,
Okay.
but I would love to. I actually watched his last fight. You could tell that he's a smart fighter. He kind of got a lot better since our fight. So
You think so?
yeah, he was picking up on some things. I watched him go to that body real good, and he stopped the guy with some body shots, actually.
I love it. By the way, another thing that I loved, I just have to say, you did this interview with The Ring. Yo, I couldn't tell if it was like a comedy skit or like, like it was.
Very serious.
It was very serious.
Very serious. No jokes, no.
It was kind of mesmerizing. It was you and Mike Coppinger.
Yeah, I don't like that guy.
Well, he's kind of become like the mouthpiece for The Ring now. He
Yeah,
was
I don't know why they use him. They need to get rid of him. He sucks. He's
This is
bad
for
at,
real. This is for real.
He's bad at commentating. He doesn't have a likable personality. I just think he's terrible.
So why'd you do the interview?
Because I try to be like I'm not gonna be no person that says no to things. I'm not gonna just say no. I'm not doing the interview because I don't like you. At the end of the day, we doing a job and this is a business. So I did the interview and I did it in the way that I like.
It was very entertaining, but I actually couldn't tell if you were like messing with us, the audience, and you guys were in it together.
I was serious. Everything that I said was serious. That's how I felt at that moment.
Wow. And what happened? The funniest thing was that like he's doing the intro, and then you interrupt him, and you're like, "This is the third time that he's had to do."
Yeah, because he did it like 3 times. I'm like, man, I thought you were supposed to be on your game. You've been doing this for years and years, but also he probably new to that lane. So yeah.
What was it like when it was over?
I didn't say nothing to him. I kept it moving.
You just walked away.
Yeah, went my ways.
Have you seen him since?
I seen him yesterday.
And how was that?
Man, I'm kind of like a troll, so I kind of was messing with him.
You did another interview.
Now, we didn't do an interview. He kind of came and got me for that meeting that we did, and we was in the elevator, and I remember telling him, like, because he was trying to tell me to get off the elevator first. I'm like, nah, pussies go first. And he's like, "Oh man, you're childish. Come on, grow up." And I'm like, "Nah."
What do you mean he's getting you for the meeting? Like, is he like, because he's a journalist, right?
I have no clue what his title is. So I can't tell you.
So he's the one bringing you to the meeting.
Yeah, he brought me to it.
Wow.
Yep.
Him of all people. I feel like Turkey's trying to like put you guys together to.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
I'm like,
of all the people to get you.
Why would y'all send this guy to come get me? That's what I was thinking. I'm like, maybe he sent him for.
Is he in the meeting?
Yeah.
Or does he leave?
Yeah, he was there.
Does he chime in?
He wanted to. I seen him over there, kind of like when they was saying certain things. He kind of wanted to,
say, but did he?
Nah, he didn't.
He was just like getting.
He had
fidgety.
a smile on his face. You know those smirks to where they like.
Sure.
They want to say something really bad, but they like they don't say it. So that's what he had going on.
Do you feel like you've been covered fairly by the media, by the boxing media?
Sometimes it depends on the platform. If the platform is not like a biased platform,
Sure.
9 times out of 10 it's gonna be fair. You know, it's gonna be some backlash, but it's also gonna be like some good too. And then you got certain platforms that's kind of biased. And,
Sure. I feel like there's less and less non-biased platforms in boxing.
Oh my God, there's so many biased platforms
Right.
in boxing. Boxing is one of the worst. One of the worst things, like far as like for up and coming fighters, just because they love you when you at a certain level, but as you get bigger, they start to hate you.
The media or the fans you're talking about?
The media.
The media.
Yes, the fans.
You feel like the media
also
hates you?
Yes.
Really?
Media hates me for sure.
Why do you think that?
I feel as though these people is like, I can't even say it. It is what it is.
Tell us. What do you think it is?
I feel like they like certain fighters. And if they like certain fighters, they're going to stick with that fighter. And it's fuck everybody else. They don't like this guy because this guy is in that fighter's weight class. And they can't be that way because at the end of the day, if you media, you can't be biased. You got to have a platform that's like for everybody.
Sure.
It can't just be, oh, I like this guy, so that means I'm enemies with this guy.
Who are the untouchables? Like, who are the ones that you feel like they never criticize?
I give some people untouchables that they never criticize. You know, it's crazy. They used to criticize Tank. Like, if you really go back in the day, they used to criticize him all the time. Now they flipped the switch to where it's like anything he do, he can't do no wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think he got heat after the Roach fight?
Yes, I think he got a little bit of heat, but I think it was just the haters coming back out.
Okay.
But if you remember before the fight, he was just this untouchable, invincible guy. So
he was saying some crazy things before that fight about like there was a video of a kid going up to him being like, "Hey, I want to be a boxer." He said, "Don't go into boxing, go into soccer," saying that he was going to retire and all this stuff.
I understand him.
You understand him?
Yeah, I understand him. You know, boxing is a dangerous sport, so that's probably what he was thinking at the moment when the kid said he wanted to be a boxer. You got to realize we going in there putting our life on the line every night out. So I understand him.
Do you think he retires at the end of the year?
Maybe. Who knows? I don't know.
How does he retire without you guys fighting? I mean, we've been hearing about this fight for freaking 10 years
I don't get that. That's the one thing that I don't get, just based off the fact that he said it in several different interviews that I was on his list and what he was gonna do to me. I don't got power. I'm not that good. All these different things to where he said that if you really felt that way, then we should get in the ring and fight.
Sure, yeah, because it would be a gigantic fight.
Yeah, for sure. And
With all due respect to Lamont Roach, the second fight, which by the way I heard, is the second fight even happening?
I'm not sure. You gotta ask that. You gotta ask them.
I don't know because they haven't officially announced it yet, and there was some stuff that I don't know if it was signed. It was supposed to be August 16th, I think, is the date.
Oh,
maybe he'll fight Jake Paul instead. What do you think of that?
I think that's terrible.
Why?
I mean, I get it because at the end of the day, it's the money business, and you want to make the most money. But from what I'm hearing, he can make more money in a fight with me. And if that's the case, why not fight me?
Sure. Do you think he beats Jake Paul?
Do I think he beats Jake? Yeah. I mean,
there's a huge size advantage, though.
It is, but I think Tank got the skills to make sure he come out on top.
Do you think that Jake has gone better?
Yeah, I think actually Jake got tremendously better from the time frame that he started till now. And in the right situation, I also could see him become a world champion.
Really?
Yeah.
He's now ranked 14th in the WBA, and a lot of people.
Who got the WBA?
That would be so Badu Jack has the WBC. I believe it would be Zerto. No, I mean that would be crazy.
I mean, I'm not the biggest Zerto fan.
But I mean that's a big jump.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Zerto been boxing for a long time, but
The three champs are Zerto, Jayo Pataya, and Badu Jack. I think Badu is probably the most like realistic fight for him at this point, given his age, right?
I don't think that's the best fight though. I think Zerto is a better fight for him than Badu Jack.
For Jake,
Yeah.
you weren't impressed with his last fight.
I wasn't impressed with his last fight, and I just know Badu Jack, even though he's old, he got a lot of experience, and he knows how to win.
Yeah. Do you think he should be ranked though? Are you okay with him being ranked at this point, 14th?
I mean, you selling out all these arenas, you bringing a lot
But it's more about who you fought, right?
Yeah, technically, you're right. It is about who you fought, and no, in that instance, but you know how this go. Like, it's about who got the most money and power controls the sport. So at the end of the day, I see why he's there.
Back to Tank for a sec. Do you think he beats Roach in the rematch?
No, I actually like Lamont Roach.
Serious?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I think Lamont Roach is a hell of a fighter. I think he don't get enough credit. A lot of people don't realize how good he is. And if you really paid attention to the fight and watched the fight, you can see how skillful he is in the pocket. His defense was on point. I think he a bad motherfucker.
Really?
Yeah, I
think
think
he stops him.
I don't think he stops him, but I think it'll go to the distance, and I think it'll be a hell of a fight on both parts. But I like Lamont Roach.
If Tank loses, does that increase the chances of you guys fighting? Or then are you no longer interested?
I mean, I would probably be more interested in fighting Lamont Roach just because of the challenge at that time,
Right.
if that does happen that way. But I also, everybody been calling for it. He done said it several times, so let's make the fade happen.
Well, what about Keyshawn Davis? What happened to him?
That's my little brother.
What happened there?
I think people go through things. Like, people go through certain things, and I feel like I'm with him regardless. So a lot of people could down him, talk bad about him. I don't watch Keyshawn grow up from right here to here, and it's like watching the flower grow. You got nothing but respect for him. So people make mistakes. I don't look at him no type of way for it.
You never fight him.
Never. No.
Is he doing okay? Because that was a tough weekend for him.
When I talked to him, he's okay.
He was all right.
Yeah.
Okay, because the weight and then the thing that happened on Fight Night with his brother.
It was tough.
That was a lot of stuff.
Like, I mean, it's tough. It comes with the territory. Keyshawn is a mentally tough individual. So right now, he probably is going through a little something, but in the future, he's going to be good. I think once he get his feet wet at 140 pounds, then win the belt, everybody will forget about it.
I'll just ask you a couple more and then I'll let you go, but I love your take on things. Abdullah Mason just got another fight.
Yeah.
What do you think of him? Just as a fighter, as a prospect.
I think Abdullah the truth.
Yeah.
I think Abdullah Mason is the truth. Speed, power, size, long arms. It's very interesting to see his future and where it goes in 135 division, but it's still me there, and I'm definitely ready for whatever challenge comes.
Would you be open to him?
Yes. Yeah.
He has to get by Sam Noakes, though.
Yeah, he just got to do a little bit more, but he's right there. You know, he's a young, undefeated contender now. He's not a prospect no more, so he's right there, and none but respect to him.
Abdullah, Keyshawn, who wins that?
You know I'm rocking with Keyshawn.
Yeah.
I'm rocking with Keyshawn versus anybody. That's my brother, but I got nothing but respect for Abdullah. Abdullah is a hell of a fighter.
What about Brian Norman against Devin Haney? What a fight,
That's a hell of a fight, right?
That's a tremendous
I'm
fight.
about to tell y'all my take on it, right?
Okay, tell us.
And everybody gonna think I'm crazy. I like Devin.
You like Devin?
I like Devin.
I don't think you're that crazy.
Everybody think I'm crazy
Really?
when I say
Well,
it.
Norman's coming off an incredible knockout. He's looked great.
Yeah.
Why do you like Haney?
I think Brian Norman is a hell of a fighter. But I think if Devin fight the way that he fought his last fight, and a lot of people may have criticized him, but if he do that, I think Brian Norman lose.
Really?
Yeah.
Just because he'll outbox him, he'll outsmart
He
him.
won't be able to hit him.
Right.
Yep.
That's a big fight for Devin. I feel like he needs this one.
Yeah, he do. He kind of.
The people, I mean, they've kind of turned on him a little bit too.
Yeah, it's like
Him and
same
his dad.
situation with me.
But your situation's different. You didn't lose.
I know.
You know, That's the difference.
I know that is the difference, but the public and the people kind of
Yes.
turned against them, man.
That's a wild thing, man.
Yeah.
You were, to me, you were always like the golden boy. Everyone loved you. You had a nice smile. New Jersey always repped you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everyone would come out for your fights. It was always a big deal. You're on ESPN.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden,
It just take one moment of.
do you have regrets?
Do I have regret? No, because you got to realize life is about lessons and learning. So that's like saying, okay, when I fought that fight against Edwin De Los Santos, because that's when the turning point happened.
Yeah.
Right? I fought with one hand. I could have pulled out that fight. And if I had pulled out that fight, the public probably would have never turned against me. They would have been like, okay, he just hurt his hand and everything is good. But that happened, and that was the reason why it happened. So now I learned from it. Like, I learned so much. I learned and see who was with me, who was against me. The fake people that was around, they kind of cleared out and got away. So truthfully, I feel like it was a learning experience, and I think it made me stronger.
I thought that they should have put this fight in New Jersey.
Me too. I think the Prudential
Would have been perfect for it.
They would have loved it.
Yes.
They would have ate this
What do you-
right up.
What do you think about it being in the tennis stadium?
I mean, it's cool. It's cool because it's a new arena that nobody has ever fought at. So for me, it's like I'm putting my name on the history books.
You gonna go to the card on Friday?
What card?
MSG. Katie and Amanda.
I want to, but I'm not.
You're gonna
I'm
be locked in.
but-
Yeah. Will you watch it?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you like the fact that it's back to back in the same city, essentially? Like, you guys are kind of competing for attention in the same city. It's kind of
I'm
rare.
not trying to compete with them. No, that's women's boxing. You got to respect women's boxing.
Of course.
I'm not into competing against them. I'm with them, and I love what they're doing for the sport. I love that they got that big fight going on, and I'm a fan of actually both of them.
They're incredible. Two legends. By the way, what's your take on the? So Amanda's team says that Katie is dirty because she fights with her head forward, and that sometimes happens. Orthodox southpaw. You know this, right? Based on what you saw, like in the second fight, do you think she's doing it intentionally, or is this
It's
just
not an intentional thing. You got to realize Amanda is a come forward and straightforward fighter, so they're going to clash, and I'm not going to blame just Katie for it. You got to realize that somebody's charging at you, and Katie's kind of moving in and out. It's going to be times where they clash and they bump heads or whatever. So even with a southpaw and orthodox, you got to know that that's one of the main things that happen. So at the end of the day, I don't blame Katie. Katie boxing her fight. Tell her to keep boxing the same fight she been boxing. And Amanda, pick it up. I think Amanda need to pick it up. She need to start early if she's going to win that fight.
top 3 pound for pound in your opinion right now?
Top 3 pound for pound, I'll go with Bud Crawford. I like Bivol.
Number 2.
Yep.
You love Bivol. I see you tweeting about him and stuff.
I like Bivol.
Really?
I don't think people give him credit.
Yeah.
He beat 2 of the biggest names in boxing, and dominated. I ain't gonna say dominated, but he dominated both of them fights to me. But I like Bivol. Third, I'm gonna go with Usyk, and I know he can't really be a pound for pound.
Why not? Because he's heavyweight?
Yeah,
He was
heavyweight.
cruiserweight undisputed.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Undisputed in
you're
two.
right. Usyk, I like Usyk.
Not Inoue. A lot of people have Inoue up there.
I just think in a way he kind of he had that one fight with Coolboy Steph,
Mm-hmm.
and he did good that fight. He looked good, but then after that fight, I just felt like they crucified me for like fighting no name fighters and people that people don't know. I felt like he kind of done the same thing. So
There aren't that many big names down there, though.
yeah, that's true. That's true. So maybe that's the reason why. But I think that what's that guy Junto
Nakatani.
That's the fight
That's
that
the
needed
fight
to
in
be made.
Japan. That would be gigantic.
Yeah, he beat that guy. Oh yeah, I'm definitely putting him.
Where are you in the rankings right now?
I take any spot. Give me 10,
Are you 4?
9,
Hey,
8.
well, put yourself up there, no?
Nah,
Or
I
not
ain't gonna
yet?
put myself up there. Yeah, I want to beat some big names, and just like Saturday is gonna be a very telling moment for me. So
So Zepeda on Saturday. One more at the end of the year. Is that the plan? Or you think you're done for this year?
it depends. It depends on whatever I want. We got to see
What would be
how
the
my
dream?
hands hold up against Zepeda, and then after that fight, we'll see if I'm ready to go at the end of the year or go next year.
Who would be the one that makes most sense for you?
There's only one name. Y'all know
Tank?
the name. It's Tank. It's me
That's
and
it.
Tank. That's the fight. I've been calling for the name for.
That's the one.
For the
Do you have to sign with PBC to make this happen? What do we have to do to make
Whatever
this
I
happen?
got to do to make the fight
You're going
happen.
to chase him now.
I'm going to do whatever it takes to make the fight. So if that's what they want, let me know.
Love it. You're the man, Shakur. Keep doing your thing. Honestly, it's great to see you flourish into the personality that you've become. And I say, fuck the haters, man. Do your thing. At the end of the day, yeah, there it is. At the end of the day, you have to go home. The whole point is to hit and not get hit.
Facts.
And if they can't appreciate that, then go watch someone else.
If they can't do nothing to stop it, I'm gonna just keep winning.
And the other thing is, don't let them change your style. I don't like this thing where I feel like you're being pressured to change your style.
I mean, I'll try my best.
And guess what happens? They pressure you to change your style. You get hurt, and then they're on to the next.
Agreed. I agree with that. But also, a guy like Zepeda is gonna make you fight.
Sure.
And when he makes you fight, you got to be fully prepared. So, I think he's gonna run into something that he don't like.
Damn, that's a good way to end it. It's July 12th, Louis Armstrong Stadium in Queens, exclusively on DAZN. In my opinion, the people's main event. Shakur Stevenson against William Zepeda. There's the poster right there. Hamza Shiraz going up against Edgar Berlanga. A bunch of big names. David Morrell is on there. Subriel, Matias, and many others. A tremendous 24 hours in New York City. There's the guy, Shakur. Thank you so much. We'll take a quick break, say goodbye to him, and be back to wrap up the show. Don't go anywhere. It's good to have you here. What a crazy couple of weeks for you.
It's been a great couple of weeks. Obviously, a lot of disruption in many different ways, but we're super excited. We're here for the biggest women's boxing event in history, live on Netflix globally. Jake is now a ranked fighter, so we're feeling good.
Yes. By the way, when you say disruption, what do you mean by that?
Disruption, good and bad, right? The good is what we've achieved in such a short amount of time, and the bad is the haters who continue to try to break us down, to take down Jake's accomplishments and what he's done, and that's disruption as well.
So in the immediate aftermath of the Jake fight, I saw both you and him very vocal on social media. By the way, welcome to X, the Nikisa Badarian account, very active. And you guys this time were saying like, okay, we used to laugh off the haters, now we're coming after you.
Yeah.
We're going to sue you if you accuse us of nefarious dealings, right?
I think, look, stating like, hey, I think this or I think that, but when you definitively state that Jake is putting on staged or rigged fights, then that's just defamation, and you're causing substantial damage to his business, to MVP's business, and something that's 100% not true, right? It's a federal crime to stage a fight, and so that's why we're going to get a lot more aggressive in going after these individuals who make these statements. And in the world of social media, these false statements get carried in a way that people to start to believe the narrative, right? And that was the genesis of the issues with Dana White, because he was the one that was saying Jake's fights are rigged, Jake's using steroids, and that's how that all came to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're
Yo, what a day. What a birthday it has been for me. Big 43, 3 in-studio guests today. Who does it like us? Hey, Frank, who does it like us? Who does it, huh, Frank? Tell me.
No one doesn't like us.
It's hot in here. I got to tell you, it's. I might have to. I might have to reconsider. My palms are very sweaty. I hope they. You know what I love about shaking boxers' hands? They don't actually shake your hand. It's always like this. It's like, because them's the money makers. Frank, who does it like us? Tell Frank, who does it like us? Who does it like us?
The mailman that I saw earlier today wasn't a big
delivers. Wait, what do you mean?
I don't know. Who shook your hand like that? Shakur?
Shakur did, yeah.
And then
he goes like
Shika as well, or no?
Who's Shika?
Cherneka.
Oh, Cherneka, yes. Shika, Cherneka. I thought you were talking about Hamza Shiraz. By the way, between Cherneka, Shakur, and Shiraz last week, it's a lot of shh in boxing.
Sounds. Well, the reason I brought that up is because
we have super chats?
We do.
Okay.
But also Leo, our writer here, came and told me about his handshake with Shakur, and then that was the first thing you mentioned too. I thought that was.
Oh yeah. You can't go. Super chat.
Sleeto comes in earlier with Petesy. Fuck. Give Ariel the Marilyn Monroe happy birthday dance. Thank you, Sleeto.
I thought it was just Petesy. I said it's $4.99. It's $4.99, and
we just want to take a moment to thank all our super chatters. We appreciate
that's
every
the cutoff,
single
$4.99
whatever you can afford is good with us. Thank
it's
you.
Actually
except for the free ones.
$4.98.
Speaking of free ones, Jinkosaurus says, HBD Ariel, thanks for all you do for MMA and us.
Can we throw in combat sports as well? Who can transition from MMA to boxing to pro wrestling like me and throw in some kickboxing with our guy Rico. Who could do it?
No one.
Oh, by the way, jiu-jitsu. Sorry. What else, Frank?
Tony Gonzalez sends in $10.
Oh,
HBD to the best
now
of the
we're
biz.
talking. Thank you.
The joy and the content you give us that fills so many of our days is the true gift. I really appreciate all you guys. Thank you all. You and the boys do. Best crew ever.
Thank you. This reminds me of a beautiful text I received this morning at 7:48 a.m. Eastern Time. Do you mind if I read it, Frank?
Yeah, happy birthday, man.
This is, honestly, guys, no cap, one of the nicest texts I've ever received. Any music?
Oh, I don't have any music.
Here's to wishing you the happiest birthday, man. You bring a light to this world that allows us all to see more clearly. And I personally don't know if I've ever smiled and laughed as frequently as I have since I've met you. Thank you. Wow.
What was your response to that?
I wrote back ChatGPT ?
Son of a bitch. But at least it elicits
I mean,
I
honestly, I didn't realize that I had such a profound impact on your life, and I didn't realize you had this type of vocabulary, these types of words associated to me, these types of emotions.
Just keep these feelings in mind in our next review.
Let me just, we don't do reviews around here. Let me I'm going to pull up Jordan's text real quick.
Let me tell you something. I don't often agree with Eric, but, I know I'm going to see you. Isn't it nicer to say it? Happy birthday in person on the air so the world can hear me say it?
Now, speaking of Eric, let me pull up Eric's right here. Eric.
Yeah, he's not here, so he can't actually wish you a happy birthday.
GC's was great. I mean, GC's was so heartfelt, I can't even read it because I don't want to put him on blast. But he was first, 7:16 a.m. Andy's was great. Andy, short and to the point, but it was great. It was great. I felt it. I felt the love. What else?
Nicholas sends in $9.99. Met James Storm last weekend at a local wrestling show. Cool guy. Wasn't familiar with this game as I'm new to wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any matches I should check out of his? HBD to the Uncrowned King.
Thank you so much. He had, and by the way, it just occurred to me, did they get me a crown because of Uncrowned?
Look at that. You're putting everything together.
Holy shit. The Uncrowned King. It has a nice little, you know what it kind of reminds me of, this crown?
Notorious B.I.G.?
The Derek Lewis thing right over there. You know the one right over here? It's kind of covered by, you know the one, right? I covered it with my John Jones thing. Two of my favorite people in the business. Yeah. What? Ooh, that one.
There it is.
There it is. Anyway, shout out to McFarlane Toys. Oh, this isn't John Jones. This is Israel Adesanya. James Storm had a great feud with Bobby Roode back in the early TNA days. So, yeah, go check out those. Those were great. Those were in the formative years. And I could tell you that the president, the relatively new president of TNA, and the former president, I do believe his title was president of World Series of Fighting / PFL in the very early days. Carlos Silva will join us in studio tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that. Frank Smith. Is Frank Smith the COO or the CEO of Matchroom Boxing? Frank Smith. Matchroom. You got to love the in-studio chats. They're just a little bit different. What is he? A CEO. He'll also join us in studio, so stay tuned for all of that. What else, Frank? What else?
Jason Bickner sends in $19.99. Wanted to chip in and say thank you to the entire crew for being a part of my life for the last 3 years. Today is my 21st birthday, and that said, I was curious what advice you all would give to me, if not your younger selves.
Wow. Mason is born on the same day as me. That's incredible. We're kindred spirits. Thank you. This is for Mason, of course.
Right.
But I was. Does this light up? Oh, it does light up.
Did you have something nice for Mason?
Yes. Mason, 21 is a great age. You have the world at your fingertips, in the palm of your hands. You're going to crush it. Sorry, that makes more sense. Petesy gave it to me all tangled up. Mason, what I would say is, a lot of people when you're in your early 20s, like, you're very impatient and you think that things have to happen today. Things have to happen right away. Like, I need to get that job, or I need to get this opportunity, or I need to do this, that. It's a long game, my friend. And I'm not saying to sit back and just chill in a hammock and just kind of like drink your 20s away, but enjoy life. Don't sweat the small stuff. That's a big thing that I've tried to learn over the years. Have a goal and shoot for it. To me, every time I meet a younger person, the first question I ask them is, what's the dream? What is the dream? Is the dream to run a coffee shop in Thailand? Go for it. Is the dream to be a surf instructor in Hawaii? Go for it. Is the dream to be the GM of the New York Knicks? Go for it. Is the dream to be a world championship boxer? Go for it. And along the way, the dream may change, the journey may change, but you'll meet incredible people and you will change and you will evolve and you will mature. But I say you only live one life. You don't want to have any regrets. Whether you're 21, 13, 14, 43, 53, 73, you want to look back and say, I did it. I went for it. I'm proud of myself. And I could smile at the end because at some point the music is going to stop for all of us. That's inevitable. That's the only inevitability. The music is going to stop. You get to decide how you react to things. You get to decide when to zig, when to zag, when to hold them, when to fold them. You get to decide, when to go for it. You get to decide when to shoot for the stars and land among the moon. Moon, stars, you get the point. Go for it. Enjoy life. Be happy. Don't sweat the small stuff. Surround yourself with people who love and support you as well. And remember, as a wise man named Frank Lenz once said, YOLO. YOLO. That reminds me, it's important for all of us to be appreciative. It's important for all of us to be grateful. There's a lot of heartbreaking things happening around the world these days. And so while we do celebrate life, while we do celebrate everything, I wish other people's pain, I wish other people's heartbreak subsides. I feel very lucky. I feel very grateful. I think we all do on this team. But there's a lot of dark and darkness and sadness right now. And we just hope, most importantly, that all that comes to an end. To me, without our health, we have nothing. All the presents, all the opportunities, all the accolades, all the money, all the possessions in the world mean nothing if you don't have your health. So ultimately, I just want to say to the man up above, thank you for our health, our collective health. Thank you for the opportunities. Thank you for the chance to come to work every day and work for all of you. And long may it continue. What else, Frank? What else? Feels like a good way to end the show, but if
last one,
okay,
John Fury 316.
Oh.
Ariel has a Knicks fan.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on a potential LeBron trade to the Knicks?
I would prefer a buyout, and we could sign him. I don't even know if that's truly possible. There's been some talk of Cat for LeBron. F that. Cat's my guy. Cat's going to be around a lot longer. Cat's in his early 30s. LeBron, what does he have? 1 year max left, if not 2, maybe. It defies logic that he's still doing what he's doing, to be honest. And so I would like for the Knicks to be smart, to be prudent. We just welcome Mike Brown to the mix, Gershon Yabusele, who I'm very excited about, Jordan Clarkson, of course. The Knicks are a better team today than they were in late May. There's no doubt about that. The core is coming back. Curious to see what they do with Mikal Bridges, of course. But as long as we have number 11, I feel good about our chances. And let's be honest, the East is weaker than they were this time last year. OKC is insane. They've got this guy Topic coming over. He's unbelievable. But anyway, I don't want to see them blow things up for a 1 year, maybe 1 year max, maybe 2 LeBron. Like, it's just not worth it. That time, by the way, 15 years ago was the decision. July 8th, 2010. I remember I was on vacation, childless, just my wife and I was watching it and I was like, it's going to happen on my birthday. It's going to happen. LeBron's going to sign with the Knicks. And of course, he did not sign with the Knicks. He took his talents to South Beach. We're past that point. So I'm not holding my breath. Would it be cool? Sure. But I'm not trying to trade anyone for him. Anything else, Frank?
That's it.
Ariel and Ade program at 5 o'clock. Ade in studio. DAZN YouTube, DAZN platform. They've got the Club World Cup semis going on right now. Let's see what the score is. Fluminense against Chelsea up 1-0 at halftime. João Pedro at the 18-minute mark, scoring a goal. Tomorrow's a massive one, by the way. Tomorrow's PSG against Real Madrid. Crazy. Here, like literally across the river. Yeah, that'd be cool to go to. I think I'm going to go to the Premier League showcase, the exhibition matches, July 26th at MetLife. Bournemouth, Man United, West Ham, Bournemouth against Everton. I'd rather see the Man United West Ham match. if I'm being honest. Anyway, we have a lot to talk about. Frank is asking me in my ear for doing OTN. I'm still not sure about that tomorrow because tomorrow we have 3 in-studio guests and we have Petesy, and then I got to go to the press conference. It's a very busy week for me here. It's sort of like I told my wife and daughter, it's like I'm sort of away, but I'm not away. Because tomorrow we have the press conference, then Thursday we have the weigh-ins at the theater, live on Netflix, and then Fight Night on Friday. I mean, how lucky am I? My 43rd birthday, I'm getting to work at my very first event at Madison Square Garden. I've covered events there, but never like in the ring. Are you kidding me? God bless America. God bless this life. Thank you, Craig Jones. Thank you, Cherneka Johnson. Thank you, Shakur Stevenson. Thanks to you. Thanks to them. Back on Wednesday.